call this meeting to order. At 6 o'clock even. Buddy, actually, pleasure, roll call, please.
President Dowling,
Present.
Vice President Bell. Here. Treasurer Pruitt is absent. Director Thompson. Here. Director Foster.
Here.
And can everybody please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do you have any public comment? Well, I got a comment real quick then. Hank just let me know it's the Water District's 75th anniversary. Well, that's pretty cool. 75 years of cool, clear water. Water.
Bush.
Any other public comment? Nope. All right, moving along. Moving on to the consent agenda, all items listed under the consent agenda are routine in nature and may be approved by one motion. But I would like to pull the agenda out because I want to move some items. So, but with the agenda being pulled out, the financial reports for June 2025 and July 9th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes. We can approve those.
I'd like to pull those out the minutes.
The minutes, okay, well then we'll just do it one by one. We're taking out,
We have the approval of the minute?
Well, he said the agenda too. He's
the agenda,
he wants to change the agenda around.
I want to pull the agenda around.
You
So-
can change your order.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you.
on the agenda, I'd like to move items I2 and I3 to between E and F.
I didn't, this is inaccurate. I didn't request to hear these board policies. I didn't request it. All I did is when I sent the email, what I said is I want them in the agenda packet. So I'm not.
Well, so, sorry, then we must have missed.
Yeah, so I mean, number 3, absolutely. Yes, number 3. That's what we.
Not to?
Well, number 2 is included in, into what I'm going to speak on other agenda items, so.
Okay, so you
yeah.
just wanted it there, so just I3 you want before
Yeah.
E, okay.
Yeah, the other
Sorry.
things is just for reference,
Okay,
yeah, that's what,
Okay.
so there was an error there in saying that I wanted to discuss.
okay, so moving, I3 to between E and F.
Yeah,
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
well, let's see, I just want to look to see where E and F is first.
E is the consent agenda, F is the next thing on the item. So next would be operations actions items.
Well, isn't I discussion items?
It is. But
Just move it there.
Well,
just that one item, because we didn't want to put it in. Yeah,
where are you putting it? I
just in between E and F. It's still item I, but it's just gonna be moved up.
E.
He's right here, consent agenda. That's,
I.
or where you at? Where's your agenda?
It's right here, well, it's right here, I don't.
Yeah, the agenda items, operation stuff is there.
Yeah, thank you.
Agenda, here's the E,
Okay. Oh,
and then F is the next, the very next one.
you're putting it on me,
I'm
okay.
putting it in between E and F.
Oh, got it,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Did you try that again? Because I don't know what the moving wire now.
Okay, so I3,
I3, okay,
we're gonna move between the E and F.
I3.
Yes, at the end of E or at the top of F.
Yeah, okay, got it,
Okay.
I see, yeah.
And then-
I see.
And then I thought I just heard that I2 goes away.
I2 is, yeah, it'll be discussed another, she just wanted it in the agenda packet, so it's there.
So I2 goes away. It's not a discussion items per se.
It's not a discussion item, it's just so everybody, so it's a reference item.
This one here. See,
This is I,
he's, what's confusing him?
general manager reports I.
He.
Well, there's I1, 2, and 3. Yeah, there's the general manager report is number 1. And then those two, those other two items are 2 and 3. So 2 is just for reference, and 3 is
Yeah,
what we're moving in between.
yeah, it's gonna go at the bottom of here. This number 3 is.
It'll be the very next thing we
Yeah,
discuss.
between here and here, and here, it's between it, it's. Yeah.
It'll be at the bottom of E. Top of it. Bottom, it'll be at the bottom.
And top of that, that's right. I don't know if you still
So
have,
you're taking out the consent agenda. Right?
No, it's not part of the,
It's-
discussion is not part of the consent agenda. I'm just
All,
amending the agenda
yeah, I.
to move I3
with all of what's listed.
to the bottom E.
Yeah, it's not listed, it's gonna be, after this, it's gonna be discussed. I requested that. Up here, it's gonna be right here.
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
we'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Okay. Second,
I second it.
all in favor?
I,
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, approval of July 9, 2025 regular board meeting minutes.
can I say, okay,
Yeah.
I can talk, okay, all right, so, again, this is the same thing I've been complaining about for a year. That the minutes are incomplete, and, but I first want to start off by saying that I have no problem with the format. I think the format is absolutely fine, and that we've been using for a decade, and I have no problem with that, so I don't know anybody that does actually. So, what my concern is, and once again, there's something after this. The minutes are not accurate because there's a lot of information left out, and when there's a lot of information left out, that leads to a lack of transparency. And what I'm saying by that is, and if you will follow along the minutes of July 7th, if you'll follow along with that.
July 9.
July 9th, yeah, is that if you look at all of the way the format is that you have something that states what we're gonna discuss. And then you have underneath that recommendation action. And then you have public comment, and then you have board action, but there's nothing in between. And that's where I'm concerned about. So I'm going to go through, and what I did is I actually wrote the minutes. I didn't finish them, but I just want to give you an example. If you look at D, which is in the minutes, July, you say 9th,
July 9.
right? Okay, under public comment. Okay, it's not complete. Sue Kiesling asked if, in this part is correct, asked if there was any progress in looking into using the fire board location for future NPUD meetings. And what was missing was, it should say, and it was free. And also what's missing was your comment.
So, and let me stop you right there real quick, Diane. So the way they've been taking minutes, and we could adjust this if we wanted to, and we'll do it board secretary, but the way that Hank is actually taking the minutes are what they call action minutes. So it's just very simple, quick and easy. And it's not I don't know the exact terminology for it, but there's like 5 different ways to take minutes, and there's actual minutes, which we want to get back to when we get a board secretary. But the way that Hank is actually taking them currently is what they call action minutes. So it's just basically a synopsis of everything that's going on, right? And so how and every action that was pulled with a little bit of detail to it. And so those, in my opinion, are actually correct in what he's doing. But I understand where you're coming from. We actually want to get back to I think it's called actual minutes. I don't think that's actual. Summary minutes? No. So that's what we want to actually get back to, and not summary minutes. I'll have to look that up.
Okay.
But that's but the way that he's actually taking them for as far as action minutes go, I believe is correct.
Well, okay, then let me go, let me explore, let me bring this out then. If you looked, and I also have this in the agenda packet, and it's on, where did I put it? It's on page 106 to 111 in our agenda items. And it is a copy, and I requested it be put in there. It was a February 11th, 2015, minutes taken by Helen
I
Rogers.
looked at those, okay?
Yeah, they are,
Yeah.
and that's what I have here when I did the minutes.
Mhm.
I'm a secretary.
Yeah.
I've been a secretary for 10 years.
Yeah.
I would never, they'll kick me out if produce minutes like this. If there's nothing in it that tells you what happened. You know, you don't even know why things were tabled.
Agreed, but that's not,
But why was it changed? Why was
that's
it
a
changed?
good, that is a good, when did you guys change that to, I know it was done before we were on.
Well, I know when it was
it
changed, because I know when they assigned, Hank, it was in December of 2017. Hank was supposed to hire a secretary, he didn't. 2 years go by, and finally, the board said, Hank, you do it, and that's when it changed. Is when Hank took over, because Helen didn't wanna do it anymore, and she was doing an excellent job, you saw that.
No, and so, that's just different styles of taking minutes.
That doesn't make it right, though.
I'm not saying that it doesn't make it right, I'm not saying that we shouldn't go back to the other one. What I'm saying is, this doesn't necessarily make these incorrect, but we should do better, and when we hire a new board secretary, or when we get to that, we will put that into the job.
But there's another issue, that with this method, it's not transparent. There's no transparency.
And, but there's,
Do you agree with that?
it's not that it's not transparent,
It's not.
it's just not as transparent as it could be.
No, it's not transparent. You don't know what's going on.
We'll agree to disagree. with that.
Okay, all right.
Fine,
So that's all, and I won't go through the.
But I appreciate you I appreciate what you're getting. I do. Don't think that I don't like what you're saying. It's just,
Yeah, but so I won't go through this whole thing, but I do have it on the agenda packet of how I would have done the minutes. And it was, and you look at the, there was somebody that was,
you know, what we could. Not to cut you off there, Diane, that was rude of me. I apologize. But can Diane take the minutes?
it's not like I wanted to do it, but I would do
Well,
it.
why don't we,
It's not
why
hard.
don't we just authorize the secretary and get it out?
Well, yeah, get that,
Now,
just get that, yeah.
Tonight.
But see, okay, so then I guess my last statement is that that we're looking for we're hope to look for a secretary. That's what I would like a secretary to do, is to fill in
Mhm.
that part that I just made an example of, or Helen Rogers does. That's what I would like to see a secretary
Okay.
write the minutes. It wouldn't be that hard to do. It really, because you've got the format all set up. You just have to fill it in, that's it. And I bet you, it would probably take me an hour and a half at the most to do,
Well, so with that said,
I'm not saying I'm gonna do it. I'm not saying that.
with that said, can we get approval? Or can I get a motion to approve the July 9th minutes?
Well, I'm not approving it.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the July 9th minutes.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
No,
opposed?
I'll do it.
Oh, yeah,
you'll do
you're
what?
approving?
Let's get it done.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it doesn't.
So that's 3 ayes, 1 nay,
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not, my answer is
1 absent.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, receive and file combined financial reports for June 2025. Can I
Make
get
a
a
motion
motion?
to receive and file the combined financial report for June 2025.
I'll second that. All in favor?
What was that again?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand.
The receive,
I make a motion to receive and file the combined financial reports for June 2025.
Oh, okay.
Second.
and I seconded it.
Yeah, no,
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye.
This is, well, can we have a discussion here?
It's just the receiving stuff here.
You're receiving it?
Yeah, receiving it so they can file. It's on every agenda,
the agenda packet.
and it's in every agenda.
Yeah, the agenda packet is.
So we're approving the,
Yeah, the financial reports for
year ending
June
26,
2025.
No,
the draft operation budget.
No, it's just the financial reports for June of 2025, for June of this year, just the financial report for June of this year.
Correct.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ron, did you say aye or no?
Aye.
Aye, okay. No, votes.
4-0.
Yep. All right, now, moving on to item I3.
Oh, that's right, that's me.
Diane, take it.
That's right, okay. Oh, there's your. Here. All right, so, there was there's an issue with who is going to, if we approve having a finance manager, there is the issue of Hank believes he has the purview to hire one. And the board, at least I believe that we have that ability, I know so. So, I looked up a state law. And that's in the packet, and let me see, what page is it on, I think it's on
Was it one
127,
27?
yeah. And, what it says is, let me see here. So it says in California, state and federal laws supersede local policies and special districts. In other words, the state is the ultimate decision maker here, even with special districts. This means that while special districts can have their own governing bodies and policies, they are subject to the laws and regulations set forth by the state and the federal government. So also what the law says, it reads, Board of Directors establishes policy for the operation of the district. Implementation of those policies is the responsibility of the district's manager. So in other words, the policies that are made by the board are to be implemented by
Right.
Hank, and the state board says, I mean, this state law says that, that needs to be followed, and in regards, doesn't mention about the purview, Hank's purview, but that's what it says. So then Hank also, sent me when, I talked to him about it in an email, he sent me a, California Code Public Utilities Code. But that code doesn't say anything about, the general manager being responsible for hiring a finance manager. It doesn't say that at all. So, this is where when I wanted to mention 3082, because once again, that's entitled purchasing and consulting services, where the board, and then 5040, where the board has the authority to reject or approve a contract. And we can definitely ask the general manager for his input, but we can, the ultimate decision comes down to the board. So that's one. And then the other one, the 3082, is titled Purchasing Professional Consulting. And this states that.
I'm sorry, Diane, can
Yeah.
I go back to the prior one, because I thought that's what you're talking about.
Did you mean 50/50 when you said 38?
No, I don't wanna talk about 50/50 because to be honest with you, okay, I'll tell you why I put it there. Because Hank mentioned something about a code. In the last minute meeting, he said, check the code. I didn't know what that meant. So I looked through the board policies, and all I could find was 50/50. And what 50/50 says is that anybody, an employee, even a general manager, he can go and he can challenge the support of what the board decides. And so I don't think that's what Hank meant. I don't know. So I'm gonna cross that 50/50 off, because I don't know what Hank was talking about. He said, check the code.
Probably, he was probably meaning state code, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I don't remember the conversation.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and so anyway, what I was trying to do, what my point here was, and all this is in the board packet. What my point was, I was trying to make the point that the ultimate decision of hiring a finance manager is the board. Period, that's it.
And so where do you see that?
It's in state law, and okay, it's on page 127,
I
Is the
don't see
state law.
finance manager there.
it should be on page 127. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
you're talking about, the government code is on page one.
All right, well, then, when I looked it up, I thought it was, where did I put it, state law, where is it? I was trying to be very efficient and putting it what the number of in the gender packet. Where it was located, and I thought it was on page 127, it's not
Well, that's state law.
in the agenda packet.
It's there.
Oh, okay, yeah, and so I put it in there.
Okay, Mark now, please.
Oh, so on that page, there's nothing about hiring,
A finance manager is what he's.
specifically nothing about hiring a finance manager.
No.
So I don't know why that's in there.
Uh,
I'm not even sure if this particular code applies to us,
That's,
but if it does, I mean, it seems like that's exactly what we're doing.
I think okay, so I say it. Okay, the point is that the state law says that if the board makes policies, that the general manager's job is to implement them. Even, and I had mentioned before that Hank believed his job description or whatever, or his purview of whatever that is, that he has the ability over the board to hire a finance manager. The state law says no. They
No, I
they
don't
don't
say that at all.
talk, they, because it.
What she,
it's
hold on,
everything.
Diane, real quick.
Yeah.
Let me clarify,
Yeah, thank
this
you,
real.
thank you.
So what she's saying, if I can understand this correctly, is this is saying that the general manager is to follow the policy that the board sets forth. And we go to 3082,
Yes.
where it says,
Okay, so that's why I asked her to go back.
yeah, that's what she's,
I
so
missed
this,
that. So what are you
this-
saying about 30?
now 3082.
Oh, 3082?
3082, yes, on page 129. Thank you for the binder today, Hank, this is making my life so much easier.
Mine is on
Okay.
page 160.
160, you should be, let's go 129.
38.
Yeah, well, the first one was, we were talking about the policy, the state code. Now we're bounced over to 3082, but we were talking about state code before that. That was the one that was on,
We're on 38.
I don't know
Yes,
if I
well,
even
go to
sent
page
her that
129,
one. I don't think I even.
and you'll be,
The page that is.
if you, or did you print your own, or?
I printed it right off the website. I don't
Oh,
have it
here.
now, but
So that way we're all.
There's a big packet sitting right there on his desk too.
129.
I've got it.
Yeah,
It was 129.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now, can you read again for us now that we have an understanding what you're reading from the state law back?
It's okay, let me see. Here's the state law.
Or we already got the state law,
Oh, you got that.
we know how the state law pertains to, you're directing it towards 3082.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
that's where you want me to start?
Yeah, 38.
Oh, okay, so the board, it's all about board policy now. So the board policy 3082 is titled purchasing, professional, consulting, or other services, which indicates the board can authorize purchase of a variety of areas, which including accounting and financial. There's the finance part. The board can consider the general manager's recommendation or consider another. And see, once again, this is a board policy, and the state law says that board policy is what we follow. And it says that the board can hire, it doesn't, well, it talks about accounting and financial, and a finance manager is under that topic. And then
I'm
policy.
sorry, I don't see that anywhere in there. Could you show me where that says that?
Did you look under 3082?
Which, is it 30, which
It's a page-
subcategory is
It's
it?
a page and a half.
What subcategory?
Yeah, is it 3082?
I don't know, 3082 is
Oh,
titled
you don't have it.
purchasing and, yeah, I do, actually, I
On
think
that.
I do, no, actually, I think I do have somewhere. Review administrative decisions, let me see if I took it, if I have it here, for decisions. Okay, one more, let's see what I have. Here it is, here, I think. Let me see if that's 38, yeah, here's 38 Okay, it's right here.
So. Proposal,
Yeah.
well, I got it here, I got that same one, but I was hoping you had the part where it said financial and.
Well, okay, that's the 3082, let's see, the financial part, let me see, it's right at the, it's the first one.
Environmental,
It's the
what's
first
on
one.
it, it's 3082.10.
Yeah, see, what I did is, I took, I
Construction
pulled
management,
out,
accounting, there it is, okay, it's in 3082.10.
yeah, pulled out the topic.
You would be the third line down, Mark. Accounting, financial, economic, energy advisor.
So it starts with prior to purchasing, because that's the second.
The district
sentence.
requires the purchase of any service, including professional services such as legal, engineering, architectural, landscape. Or engineering, architectural, landscape, architecture,
I got
land
it.
surveying, construction, yeah. So it's all,
So wait a minute, so let's go through that long list of things you can do, and it includes financial and accounting and all
Well,
that
I'm
good stuff.
really concerned about the
Could you
finances
please let me,
here.
okay, but it has that in there, I'm agreeing.
But
it has
when I
that in-
go
hold on,
through this thing,
let him go.
I agree, it has all that in there. And administrative services, then that whole thing starts with, after all that list, the board of directors may purchase the service. Don't say have to, may purchase the service without advertising for bids. That's the main part of that whole thing. We don't have to advertise for bids. It doesn't say that the board of directors
well,
has to.
you're
It
going
says
to
they
a
may
different,
purchase.
you're moving on to a different topic.
Oh, okay, what topic were you on? I thought
I'm on the topic that the board has, the district being the board, has the ability to, is responsible for, let's see, including professional services, and I pulled out accounting and financial. Yeah, so what did I pull out? Yeah, so I mean, the rest of it is not relevant. Yeah, the rest of it's not relevant to focus on the rest, because I'm just focusing on who is responsible for hiring a finance manager.
And that doesn't say this here.
Says, the first sentence, says the district requires the purchase of any service, including professional services.
Well, we're gonna,
Blah, blah, blah.
I can see this already. We're gonna get bogged down in
We are.
discussion on this.
Okay, I'm, yeah, I don't wanna dwell on it.
Because we're gonna have plenty of time to go over that. I know you just wanted to discuss that before the.
That's what you're taking it on, is that sentence.
Basically, the
Yes.
state board, the state law supports our position that the board is responsible for, I mean, if the the policies are what we follow. And I need,
And 3082 is false.
yep, and so is 50/40. Yeah, and so
So,
that's all I was trying to say, because it's all in your packet, everybody can read it.
Well, it says we,
thanks,
says in the 13, we shall consider the general manager's recommendation that may select a service provider.
Yeah,
So we can
yeah,
do that.
that's,
And we
that was
take
my
it, take
point.
his recommendation.
but like I said, I don't wanna get bogged down in the mire on this, cause there's other, but when we get to the
Yeah,
actual items, then we
Yeah.
can.
Well, I
discuss
made
it.
my-
But I appreciate you making your point.
yeah, okay.
Thank you for bringing that, and thank you for putting it in the agenda, that way everybody has it.
Oh, good, okay, that's,
That way we have something for it.
okay.
All right, moving on to items F1, response to Placer County's grand jury report. There's a recommended action, receive and file the staff prepared response to Placer County grand jury report, authorize staff to submit the response to the grand jury in accordance with statutory requirements. So, as we all know, we had the grand jury come out, and Hank was nice enough to write up a response. We should probably go through this response.
The whole thing,
Well, what I'm getting at,
I thought we were gonna table it.
Yes, we gotta go.
We can-
We-
well, here's the problem. That I just became aware of, yesterday or the day before. We thought that the deadline was September 30th,
It is,
it's August 29th.
no, it's not.
It is, it's in your packet.
Well, we can't just, we,
So here's the thing. So, I know this takes a while.
I don't have mine, I think I'm.
So there is, Hank, where is that, where it says the response part of it?
Page 40 of 132, lower right hand corner.
Oh, that's mine, honey.
So you should have, here. Page 40. Okay. September, for still public, September 1st, 2025.
And so September 1st is a holiday, and
Okay,
the weekend
so
before
20
that,
yeah,
so the
29th,
29th, I think, I believe is the Friday.
The last
before-
business day.
Okay, can you
For that.
show me in the packet where it
Page
says,
40,
oh, page 40?
page 40.
Okay, so you're saying here it says,
This binder's really helping. me.
and where does it say that?
So response down here, it says. Respond date. Due date,
Yeah,
and it's September 1st.
okay.
So. That's when we have to have a response, but
So why does it, okay, then tell me why it says that there's lists here. September, one's due September 30th, one's due September, all of these are not due September 30th, except. The one, where's the one you just told me?
all the way down the lower right.
No, I know, but that's contradicting what's the rest.
I agree with you on that.
So I don't think this is true, I'd have to look at mine at home.
Oh, item number 3, that's September 30th.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, I've never seen the September 1st thing.
So
Item
that is
number-
in the,
Item
grand
number
jury.
5 says September 30th. Item number 4 says September 30th.
Yeah. that's-
Correct.
yeah, and then you go all the way down to the last page and it says September 1st, 2025. So,
Can I give a try there?
yeah,
We're talking about two different things. The response, where we say, like Hank said, where we say, are we gonna do it, are we not gonna do it, do we agree with it, we not agree with it? That is due on September 1st. Are we gonna?
The response,
The response that they talk about right up at the very front, what you have to do, it's a very small. You have to put that in. Some of these, actually specific items are due
by the end of the month,
by the end.
or we're supposed to have them implemented by the end of the month.
Right.
So implementation and response are two totally different.
So there's only one in here that talks about September first, so maybe that's the one we should talk about.
I don't see that one.
It's R8, it's R8, look at R8.
So
R8.
like Mark was saying, Diane,
Yeah,
the response is due by the first, whether we're going to agree with them or not. But the recommended implementation is by the third.
probably.
But
So we actually have to implement it.
R8 is only for expenditure approvals by September first, all the rest of them are September 30th.
Yeah, should update, yeah. So I'm not agreeing with, I don't know why that's here, but I'm not agreeing and I'm not prepared to discuss it. I've gone through a few of them and it's not how I would respond at all. In fact,
Anyway,
it's,
let's keep
And
it.
so that's why I was gonna say, I wanted to put the due date out there. Cause if we have time tonight, if there's some stuff that we can agree on
no,
in any of this,
I
Let's
can't
at
do
least
that.
try.
No, I can't, because have you guys all read thoroughly this thing? Well, I haven't. Okay, I haven't. I was, it's been,
here's the thing, like,
I can't just respond to
but
this.
if there's anything, if we can read through it and find anything that we can all agree on. And then we go, at least we have those out of the way and agreed upon, and then the stuff that we don't agree upon, then we can go to a special meeting with and continue it otherwise.
I can't do that because I haven't read the actual text of all of it, of the board.
Well, I appreciate that, I appreciate
But
that.
I'm not prepared for
I
that.
appreciate that, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to push you into it, I'm just trying to say, is there any way we can come to consensus on this and anything?
It is.
Now, Ron, is there anything that you can find that you might be able to come to consensus on this?
Well, there's only,
And the response,
what I'm doing is, I'm looking at the response only, not the R4s and 5s.
yeah, just the response,
Yes,
just the response that Hank drafted,
the response to F1.
yes.
And that says, I disagree wholly with the finding number F1. F1 is,
Well, we go it was F1 through, I mean, there's a bunch of different items in it.
that's not what he said. He says F1.
Well, that's on the, I'm sorry, the
That's his
agenda,
response.
Ron,
It says right here.
I know, no, real quick, I was getting confused by, because the agenda item is also F1. I was saying, yeah, we're gonna discuss F1,
Well, we're discussing.
but then there's also F1 in the grand jury letter, sorry, just.
So, anyway, in response to the grand jury, Hank says, I agree with the findings on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I partially agree on 4, and I disagree wholly on number 1,
Right.
and I disagree totally with that. My reasoning is, anyway, he respectfully just, you read that one?
Yeah. Get back to it.
Are you familiar with the F1?
I read it, but now I'm trying to figure out which one it was.
So, look on page 15.
15. So it's just the first one right here?
Yeah, it says finding number 1, that he's.
Yeah,
Exactly
that's that
what
one.
they say.
This is the one he's contesting.
Okay, so let me read it real quick. I respectfully disagree with this finding from August 2011 through April 10th, 2023. Roger Carroll, CPA, fulfilled the duties of finance manager for the Forest Hill Public Utility District under a proposal to provide accounting services. Following Mr. Carroll's passing in April 2023, Lance Soul and Lungard LSL assumed responsibility for the finance manager duties under a letter of engagement executed on May 31st, 2022. Therefore, while there was a brief transition period, the finance manager responsibilities have not been vacant since April 2023, as they have been continuously fulfilled by qualified professionals.
That's a false statement.
Okay. My complaint is on the F1, I strongly disagree with anybody contesting the grand jury. You don't want to challenge the grand jury, period. You just eat that one and move ahead. Take it as it is until we get a finance manager, which you don't aggravate the grand jury because they have the
So, hold on.
power. They have the power to go right directly to the DA. And then they open a can of worms.
So, here, let's take the temperature down a little bit.
They don't do it.
I agree, but that's why it's coming to the board to see if we can approve or disapprove on this item. So, right, with that said, are we prepared to put together some wording for this? Or approve it as it is, and move on?
I will not.
I can't, I haven't studied it, you told me we were gonna table
That's-
it, so
that's-
I did not study it.
That's fine, I'm just saying, I didn't know that the due date until a couple days ago
It's only
was,
one that has that condition.
the response has to be done by that.
I don't agree with that, I don't think that's true, I have to study it.
Well, that's what my understanding is.
But then going back to that one that we were just talking about, Hank took it out of context, because I did study that one really angered me. Because what the grand jury was saying was that there was a vacancy for the finance manager since 2023. Hank says, no, the grand jury is correct, they're talking about an in-house. So Hank took it out of context.
They didn't say in-house.
Yes, they did. See, that's the thing, that's what I wanna do, I wanted to compare.
And because the grand jury report it's in here, right?
The finding is repeated on page 15. The finding said, the Forestville Public Utility District Finance Manager position has been vacant since April 2023. They did not say in-house.
It did.
That is exactly what
If
you
you
said.
read the article,
Because it, hold on.
does talk about the in-house.
What page?
Page 38 of 132 is the actual grand jury report.
Because when I read it, I did not see in-house.
And it says
I
the
guess.
Forestville Public Utility District Finance Manager position has been vacant since April 2023. So there's no mention in finding one of in-house.
You have to.
If I could find a middle ground here, please.
Please.
It absolutely says that in F1. I mean, it's right there, here, it's in what he's saying. It says it's been vacant. However, in their text, in the many sections that they have up there, they do talk about the things that are there. And let's see, I do recall reading in there somewhere where they said in-house.
Yeah, it's in there, it's in the dialogue that they, or I don't know what you'd call it, the actual text of the grand jury as they.
Summary.
Not the summary, it's in the whole, if you read the, you know.
Oh, here it is.
back-
Go to page
Yeah.
33.
Yeah, it's in there.
33.
There's a title, it says Finance Staffing Span of Control of Business System. And if you go to that first paragraph, the very last sentence of it says, the position of an in-house finance manager remains vacant and the recommended board action was to discuss and direct staff accordingly. So they're talking about an item that was on the agenda.
Well, it's on the agenda, the jury report.
Yeah. Let's see, that says that they found that on our webpage. And that was when we brought it up. On whether or not we wanted to do something that was on the agenda. Discuss and direct staff accordingly.
3/14/2024.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Right there. Let's discuss hiring a business manager. In March of 2024, March of last year. So you guys were discussing this last year. Hiring finance. That's even up there, I don't.
I can't remember when it started, but yeah, it's been going on for a long time. I don't recall the dates.
So here's where they say in-house relative to us, the board doing an inquiry. It's not quite certain where, other than the finding, they say that we don't have one.
I gotta admit though, Diane, I did not catch that.
And also.
I did not catch it. I caught the,
I have to tell you though too, is that I'm very disappointed because this came to us a week ago. And I'm pretty good about researching everything, and I've spent a lot of time researching just for this board meeting. And yet this was sprung on us. And there's not enough time to go through this.
Well, and then we don't have to, like I said, it's not that we have to, I was just saying, do we wanna get any of this out of the way?
I don't,
Or can we get any of it out of the way?
well, it's gonna take us a couple hours to do that, to go through this whole thing, and I'm not prepared. I wanna go through and read that thoroughly again, the grand jury report. And I haven't been able to do that, because it was a week ago, we got this.
Let's make this,
So
let's make this
let's
very.
simplify that. We only got Hank's report a week ago.
Mhm. Yeah, we've had
The rest
that,
of the whole report we've had for, I don't know, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
3 weeks.
well, like, longer than a month,
3 weeks,
Maybe a
month,
yeah.
because it was at the last board meeting, yeah.
I know, but
I just got it Monday.
no,
Well-
we've had it for.
The
a
grand
month.
jury report, talk.
But it's the responses, Hank's responses that I'm having a problem with. I don't have enough time to compare his response with what the grand jury really said. That's only been a week that I've seen this. I mean, that his responses. And that's going through all these, it'll take me a bit worse.
So with that said, I'm gonna make it very simple.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a motion, don't worry about the motion. I'm gonna make a motion to approve these, to approve this letter to send to the grand jury,
I'll second.
okay?
no, I clarified. What letter? What
Oh,
letter?
you're not gonna heed my warning. You wanna aggravate the grand jury.
But what-
No, just,
No,
pay
you're
attention
making
to
a
what I'm
motion.
doing, pay attention to what I'm doing.
But what letter though? I
You're
don't
making
know.
The letter that Hank-
Send that letter.
So
Oh, you mean all of those, his
Yeah.
responses?
this is gonna make our lives a whole lot easier, just pay attention.
Well,
Public comment? Nope. Coming back? Can we get a roll call vote?
Yeah. Vice President Bell,
Yes.
Director Thompson,
no,
Director Foster,
No.
President Dowling.
Yes. Move,
now may I explain?
so now can we,
There isn't any dispute on,
Ron, I was just getting that out of the way, so now we can. Can we, make a motion to table this item for a special meeting?
no,
Get a,
you can
To
schedule
me,
it.
that's gonna depend upon when you do that.
Well,
I'm super busy.
yeah, I know you are, so I was thinking about going for next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I've already,
I'll be up at Silver Lake.
you'll be, Mark, what the hell are you doing vacation?
He's already behind time.
So, I mean,
So
so
what,
somebody else has expressed dismay over not having enough time. I'll express just a little dismay over, we've had plenty of time. We had us concentrate on this. I've done this. I am upset that our other board members can't give the amount of time to this that it deserves. Okay, now, that said, you wanna look at a calendar? Maybe we can find something.
yeah, can we find a consensus date to have, to hold a special board meeting
Okay,
to address
can I
this?
speak?
Yes,
I don't have a problem with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have a problem with 1 because he's contesting it, and that's gonna aggravate the grand jury.
this is
The other
gonna,
one, and the other one is 4.
this is actually gonna, you disagree with 4 or you agree with 4?
He is partially disagreeing with 4. Okay, he is partially, we're looking at his letter, so this is number 4 that you read.
Mm-hmm.
See. Notice I didn't contest 4.
Well, so,
1,
so just 1 was the only one that you disagreed with?
and I will not back down on it.
Okay,
I
so
will not.
So,
when I try,
yes,
Ron, take a look at page 24 of 132.
Just give me the number 4, what?
No, page 24, 132.
page 24.
Look at page 24, 132. It says response to Placer County grand jury report form.
To see what I downloaded off the public website, it's not the same number of pages that you guys have.
It's.
Well, that's why I
page
think
one-
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, let's look in the other one.
This was posted on Monday. Has this been changed since Monday?
No,
This?
no,
Then why is it a different page number?
I have no idea. That's why there's that agenda. There's that agenda pack. Use the one that we provided.
Yeah, use that one, that'd be better, but let's look at page 24, 132. There, that's right where I thought going. That's it, page 24.
Right, okay.
We'll look at that number.
I see.
Okay. So what I wanted to draw your attention to there is that this is the response to the Placer County Grand Jury report form that the grand jury has given to us. That says, what is a compliant response? And the things that they have here are compliant responses. A compliant response, complying with the requirements of the grand jury, has, as a compliant response, we disagree wholly or partially with the findings. So this is totally within what they are expecting to see. They are expecting to see as a potential, we disagree.
They're expecting this form
Now, yeah,
along with an explanation.
Why,
describe any portion of findings that are disputed or not applicable, include an explanation of the reasons. So this thing that he's written up complies completely with what the grand jury is expecting.
so, with, now that we have that, so. Can I get a motion, or actually, you know what, I'm gonna make a motion,
Actually, we'll justify too.
5,
It says this recommendation doesn't apply, so it'll not be.
Yeah, he says it's not going to agree to
And
this.
the last paragraph.
Just what I-
okay, so give me a second. So. I'll make a motion that we can move forward with the response in the letter for F2, F3, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, and F11. With disagreements from the board on F5, F4, and F1. Can I get a second?
I'm sorry, you lost me in the list. I'll go back to his letter. You're looking at his letter?
Yeah, this is the response letter.
Okay, you just start again.
The response. So, in the letter. I make a motion. That we can all agree. On F2, F3, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, and F11. So in that list, pull out F5. Okay,
Well,
and then we disagree on F5, F4, and F1. So,
read number 8.
already,
I've got it sort of.
yeah, F2, F3, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, and F11.
I have. On number 8,
Do you disagree?
page 19.
Do you disagree with me, Ron?
What I'm saying is. What it says, what it's about, expenditure approval to adhere to stated amount for the template. What I'm saying is wrong, it's the second paragraph. Portsmouth Public Judiciary follows a standard procurement policy which requires the authorization by the board for expenditure exceeding $15,000. This has been violated with the LSL.
Okay, so,
Okay, good to know.
okay, what,
Occasionally, the operational necessity may require the general manager to authorize purchases that exceed this threshold prior to. Anyway, formal board approval. I understand that could be an emergency situation. That he would need to spend more than $15,000. I get this. Such cases, the expenditures are promptly presented to the board for ratification. This ratification process ensures compliance with district policy, maintains transparency, and safeguards public resources through all board accountability. So what he is only contesting is a partial on 4 and a partial on 1, or all on 1.
all on one, partial on 4.
I just look at the
And you look at 5.
recommendations on 8 is the first paragraph and the second paragraph.
So,
Because the first paragraph that I quoted for expenditure exceeding 15,000, when LSL was hired,
if,
they
so,
were hired in May. We didn't know about it until October. And that's hundreds of thousands of dollars later.
hold on, so can we agree on responses F2, F3, F6, F7, F9, F10, and F11? Pulling out F5, F8, F4, and F1?
I can't do it because I haven't been given the opportunity or enough time to study any of them. Other than the 2, that's the minutes thing, that would just stuck out at me, and the first one, where Hank said that there is a finance manager. There isn't. So anyway, no, I just, to me, I haven't had time, so I'm gonna say no to everything.
But I'm,
See the argument number 4,
Well, you already disagree with them, we're gonna have to meet on those are the, I'm just trying to get consensus on. F2, F3, F6, F7, F9, F10, and F11.
well, number 4 is about updating the policy book. And Hank put in there that, number 4 has not yet been implemented. So we need to keep moving forward with the policy book, that's satisfied that. I don't have a big deal about 5.
So,
Or,
but hang on, it occurs to me that we're still talking about different things. There are two things that they have on here, findings and recommendations. And they both have numbers with them. And I think we're having some confusion between F5 and R5.
Oh.
I mean, if we look at F5 says Forestville Public Utility District job descriptions, excluding pay scales, were last revised in 2024. Hank's agreeing with that. And now we're saying we don't agree with 5. I don't see why we would not agree.
That was a good catch, Mark.
So
Yeah,
I think we're,
I see what you're saying, yeah. So are you reading the Rs or are you reading the Fs? Because Hank agrees with. In the letter, he agrees with the grand jury on F2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. He agrees with the grand jury on those items.
yes, I know,
Okay, so that are we clear
I
on? it?
understand.
Okay. I just wanna make sure.
Because what I did is wrote notes on the things that I had comments about.
Mhm.
And the number 1 is listed under responses to recommendations.
Yeah, isn't that basically what Hank wrote was about the recommendations, about the Fs?
both,
That's what I thought, really, both of them?
yeah, so
See,
if
I haven't even been
you
able
look
to,
at page 15 of our packet here,
because I know that the recommendations are, I went through those, or I read them. But, 15, what did you
page
say?
15 of.
It's the very first page.
Okay.
This is his response.
And that very first page is the letter.
7, 7. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, to me, it's like, I don't know, I just focused on the Rs.
So, but you see where there's first part says, I agree with the findings number, F2, F3,
F5, yeah.
and that's exactly the way the grand jury report reads. It says findings, and it lists some F1 through F11. And then we have recommendations, which are numbered R1.
But that recommendation is completely from the grand jury, and it's not. That's what we need to be doing, right? I mean, that's.
Those are recommendations. I'm just trying to, because we're getting lost between
Yeah.
findings and recommendations.
Right. So
So,
what I'm trying to do is just go. Yeah,
What are you trying to satisfy that?
Well, I'm just trying to say, so- I'm just trying to satisfy Hank's response to the finding.
Yeah.
So he agrees with the grand jury on F2, 3, 4, 5, or F2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
What he says is responses to grand jury findings. I agree with so-and-so, I partially agree with F4, and I wholly disagree with F1. Okay, F1, Forestville Public Utility District Manager position has been vacant since April. That's their findings. Their recommendation is hire one.
no, that's not what, it's not in this finding.
It's,
The finding is we don't have one.
well, there was a brief transition period, the finance manager.
Right there,
not been
F1.
making-
We don't have one.
I'm just trying to get us to stick with.
So,
findings or-
So what I'm trying to say,
Pick it apart.
well, all I'm trying to do is, because we already know what we disagree on, that we're gonna have to meet on, right? We're gonna, because Diane's not ready, and Ron, I don't think you're probably ready to do it. Okay, well, heck, we can, but see, here's the other thing too, there's only 4 of us tonight, we need to get 3 of us to agree. Okay, so that's. So,
But see, when you have the findings on the Fs, the Rs are the recommendation. So the grand jury has recommended you do this.
Okay,
Your findings is what they see. The recommendations are what you need to do.
so
I think that's a straight on board.
Why would we meet, have a meeting if the board agrees, and I still won't vote yes, but if the three of you vote to approve and send this in, why do we need a meeting? Because it's already been done.
well, then we wouldn't.
Right, exactly.
But I'm
I'll
trying
write
to-
my own, I'll tell you that. I'll write my
What
own.
I'm trying to figure out, Diane, is where we can get consensus. If we can get any consensus on this letter tonight, if there's anything that we can get consensus on, then that cuts. Or if we can get consensus on the whole thing between me, Ron, and Mark, 'cause I know you're not going to, but if we could get consensus on it, then we can send it in. If we can't get let's get what we can get consensus on, vote on that, and then we'll pick up the rest of it at our special meeting. Once we.
What do we
You
need
see
a
what-
special meeting if you've already?
Well, if we disagree on others, I'm just trying to get through the letter. I'm using the letter as a template going, is this response, do you like this response? Yes, no. Do you like this piece? Yes, no. Just like we did with the policy board and all that stuff. So if it's gonna take forever, we'll just try to do a special meeting. But if we can get through some of this, then let's get through it and put hash on everything. So. With that said. Do we agree?
Can I give you another example? Maybe that'll help me.
Okay,
Number 10. Recommendations, number 10.
recommendations number 10.
There you go. Number 10 says, Forest Public Utility District of Directors should update the status of securing its water right permit expired in 2011, no later than 30. Now, what has happened is, whether you know it or not, our attorneys applied for a 49-year extension on this project. There is no way I've done the research. There's no way that the California State Water Resources Board will approve 49. They have never approved one above 10 years. And they will not do it. That's why it's been set in limbo. We keep dumping money into this and it's never gonna be approved.
So with that said, let's do this.
That's something that needs to be addressed by September 30th.
So you wanna look closer at that 10?
Let's not go all the way to back. Let's start on page 1.
Okay,
Let's just go page by page and we'll go line by line. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. And if I can't get this first page within the next 10 minutes, we're gonna table it for a special meeting. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to
Okay.
look at it.
So it says, Dear Grand Jury, Forest Hill Public Utility District respectfully submits the following responses to the Placer County Grand Jury 2024-2025 final report. We acknowledge and appreciate the grand jury's important role in promoting transparency, accountability, and good governance in local public agencies. After careful review of the findings and recommendations presented, we are pleased to provide the following responses on behalf of the district. So,
We're telling the grand jury.
yeah, these are our responses, and then it goes, so is there anything, let's hold up on that. Do you have an issue with anything in that?
What, in that first paragraph?
Yeah,
No.
okay. So responses to grand jury findings. Then Hank writes, I agree with the findings numbered F2, F3. This is just the findings. This is not the response or the recommendation. F2, F3, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, and F11. Do you disagree with that? Mark, do you disagree with that?
no, that's all okay.
The only thing I disagree is on 10.
finding.
That concerns the radio gates and changing the water permit to a water license.
Now I gotta go to the report.
This is very.
You're gonna mark that spot.
I know, where's my report at?
That's very expensive.
Not F10.
Is it that R10 or F10?
Well, we're on F10.
We're on F10.
On page 39, says F10, says the Forest Hill Public Utility District Water Right Permit 1535 135375 extension expired in 2011.
That's because we didn't have.
Wait, did that happen? Did we agree that happened? Then that's what all he was asking, and that's what.
That's the
first-
finding.
That's the finding, so we agree with the finding.
It's not the,
Oh, yeah. And this
That's
is
all he was asking.
2011.
Okay. So I think that brings us to concurrence on that first section.
so do we have concurrence on that first line? I agree with F 2, 3, 4, 5. F 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Cause you were looking at the recommendation, not the,
No, I was looking for it. Have you read the recommendations, Ted?
We're not on
we're not,
recommendations.
we're just on this first, what I'm finding.
I understand it.
Okay.
We gotta stick with
You're
it,
trying to isolate the ones you don't know.
but we're not, it doesn't say anything about the recommendation. This is nothing about the recommendation. It's just, they're agreeing with findings number. I've already stated them a million times. Okay, so then I partially disagree with finding number F4, so that's. F4, right, this is what he brought, so do you have an issue with partially disagreeing with F4? Which would be.
Just about updating the policy, and that's right. Just direct them, they update all that policy, goes to post it online, that's all it is.
The one we're talking about for F4 has nothing to do with the policy book. Read
Talking
F,
about four.
F4. That's recommendation.
F4,
Recommendation 4, it's about the
no,
policy.
No, that's recommendation,
we're finding four.
finding 4.
The Portsmouth Public Utility District does not have a comprehensive strategic plan outlining future years, including risks and opportunities. That's the finding. Which he's partially disagreeing. He says, I partially disagree with this finding. The Portsmouth Public Utility District developed a water master plan in 1992. The plan served as a strategic guide for maintain and enhance water service for the community. This plan was updated in 2008. It includes long-term improvements and planning.
Well, we're talking about R4.
We're not.
F4,
We're
we're
talking
talking
about-
about F4. It's on the first page,
Hard F.
See, there is
No,
no,
we've been doing,
do you have F in here though? Where
Yes.
is it?
It's on the
Okay.
complete report.
39.
Oh, 39.
39.
Okay.
It's always been S. Right, all S. Okay. So,
F10 is their findings, or another,
but if we're on
Another
F4, we agreed on F, we agreed on that upper line. Okay, you know what,
Well,
not
over there,
disagreeing with F4, disagreeing with R4.
but there is no, we're not on the Rs.
Well, that's what he's writing a letter with, R.
That's what I thought too.
no, it's on both. It says you have to do both.
But because he's we're not into the responses, we're just into what the findings are, like F1, F2.
Just cancel it, let's go to a special meeting, and we can argue
Yeah,
our things out.
that's what I was hoping we could get there, but. So, now, with that said. I was gonna try for next Wednesday. To hold a special meeting,
What's the date?
it would be the 20th,
How about Friday, this Friday?
this Friday,
Yeah, starting at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I can't do 9 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, and I can't do Friday.
Your Saturday, 9 o'clock in the morning.
I won't be here. Yeah, Sunday I'll do it. Yeah, Sunday. Saturday I have an event in Auburn, the whole day.
Sunday, I think I can do Sunday. Let me see.
You do Sunday, Mark?
I can do Sunday, but like to do Sunday.
I don't like it
Monday.
either.
We can hammer that, but we need a lot of time. We need to
Yeah,
start
that's
like in the
true,
morning.
that's true. Today, wait a minute, but that doesn't give us a lot of time. If I've got a function on Friday and Saturday all day. Where am I gonna have the time? Today is
Friday.
Wednesday, that gives me one day.
You mean,
You said a little bit before, 3 or 4 hours.
This is
But
Wednesday.
I have to be I'll be all day in Auburn on Friday and Saturday. I have functions there,
But what about Thursday?
so.
That's just the one day you're talking about?
Okay, so you're asking me to spend my whole day on this. Okay, I'll do it.
Well, this is the thing, because here's what we've gotta come with, and
Sunday's good.
I've been working out of town all week. And then when I come home, I got crap to do around the house too, and so I'm not able, you know, but I'll do it on Sunday too, you know,
Okay, I'll do
we
it.
got it, that's kind of our
I'll
responsibility.
do it, I'll just, my Thursday is the only day, but that gives me all day, I can do it.
You doing this on Sunday? Yeah.
Well, it's not like, it
Yeah,
Yeah.
you doing this on Sunday?
doesn't require a whole lot of information.
Well, I know,
Just
but,
do you agree or not agree?
but no, you have to compare what he says with what the grand jury said.
He's only
That takes time.
discussion.
No, we're gonna do the whole thing.
Well, but he's.
And we're, and either that or we're gonna draft our own letter.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
doing finding number one.
Yeah, no, but we're gonna do the whole thing on Sunday. If we pick Sunday, we'll do. the
We're
whole-
picking Sunday, we're taking Sunday, doing the whole, we're just doing that, just concentrate on that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Recommendations, the response, the letter, everything.
Yeah.
Because currently this is, hey, sounds like what we're talking about, is the end of this letter, they say board of directors voted 5-3 or 2-1 for this or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. It would make me feel a lot better.
Do morning.
Because then I can actually sit down and focus on it.
So Hank, are you available Sunday morning?
Sunday morning, what time?
What time is, well, what time's good for you?
So I have a,
Well, we wouldn't have to have it. We could present it to him Monday after. We can give it to him Monday morning,
We could,
the results.
what time? Yeah, I mean, it's.
This is gonna be an argument. Well, not an argument, but there'll be.
it's gonna be some discussion
Persuasion somehow.
on this.
That's how you don't want to.
Yeah, but 11 o'clock is the
Because
first.
we know it's contesting anyway.
11 o'clock?
Yeah, I didn't wake up until, I mean, no, I wake up at 7, but I mean, until I get my coffee.
11, that's, you're making it the whole day by that time.
I get up at 2:30.
Yeah, let's try like
Every
8
day,
o'clock.
every day.
Oh, no, there's no, I'm.
Come on, Diane.
No, there's no way.
Diane, you can do it.
I'm not, no, I won't do it.
We're gonna waste the whole day if we do that. I won't have, nobody will have a Sunday.
Well, you know what, I think if we're prepared, I mean, if I'm prepared with this stuff, I think it would go a lot faster. I just don't, and I know that you haven't had a lot of time to do it either. I say 10 is the earliest I'll do it. Oh, you did,
So
well, I did 10 time, you know what I was working on. Yeah,
Is that 2 p.m.?
10 o'clock is the earliest I can handle that.
How about 9? Let's meet in the middle. Let's go 9.
No.
Come on, Diane. You can't say, oh, how about, we'll vote on, you wanna do 9, Ron?
Want to do 4?
I'll do 4. I can, that's the time I get up normally.
10
What
o'clock.
time you go to bed? Maybe we'll do, you go to bed at 8?
Yes.
We'll do 9.
What's the point is, it takes me a while to wake up in the morning and everything. I just, 10 o'clock is the earliest.
Well, I'm trying to find consensus here, but Mark, what do you think?
Or any of those fine times.
Any of those times are fine? Ron? Okay, I'll make a motion to table this item for a special meeting on Sunday, starting at
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Diane, telling me. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay,
Okay, so while we're talking about that, let's vote on that.
yeah, public comment,
Wait a minute. This is August, when is Sunday now? We work Fridays.
Sunday, the 17th, August
Yeah. that's
17th.
right. It's a seven-
Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 17.
Okay,
And where should we meet though? Because this is gonna be open.
It's 10 a.m.
This room.
10 a.m., that's another good question. Now we need to, I'll talk to the fire board.
Okay.
Because a special meeting has to be notified 24 hours in advance, and we gotta have it by Friday, right, Hank? For the agenda and the meeting place? Okay,
I'll just give the response to him Monday.
but no, we gotta put the agenda out on Friday, because it's a special meeting.
Yeah, probably needs.
Yeah, well, people gotta know where we're having the meeting for. Exactly, but people gotta know where they're going. Okay, so, fire department, admin room,
Same place you were before.
Oh, I forgot where that is. I mean.
it's right there next to Brewmaster's Deli, in the back,
Oh, in the back. Oh, yeah.
You walk from.
at 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Okay,
Assuming we can get confirmation.
assuming we can get confirmation, if we can't, then we'll have to figure out something else.
Okay.
I'll bring it easy up, some chairs.
We'll do it out. Roll call vote, please.
Do you guys pre-seed, do we have any?
I asked this.
Okay,
Just as a point of order, we had a motion on, the motion was to approve F 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 11. I didn't hear a
That-
second, we'll say died for lack of a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So the motion is to schedule a special meeting Sunday, 10 a.m. at the fire department to be confirmed. Roll call vote. Vice President Bell,
Yes,
Treasurer, Director Thompson,
Yes,
Director Foster,
Yes,
President Dowling.
Yes,
Motion carries 4-0.
okay.
let's fuss with the rest of the details. You have a potential place.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about time? I mean, I think we have,
Well, 10 o'clock,
that's when we start.
yeah,
I think we ought to allow ourselves 4 hours for this,
You wanna
maybe
do-
6.
if you wanna get me, text me.
I think we ought to allow no more than 3. Just because once you spend that much time, people start, I mean, we're already into this thing an hour and everybody's heads are already going. We haven't even got past the first, well, out of items F,
Okay, let's move on then.
So 3 hours?
I'd say 3 hours.
Always put a limit on this, which was done.
Well, I like that too, but if we have something at 3 hours, people know this is not going to be a 10-minute discussion.
But it's just that these decisions need to be made, they need to be made now.
Well, we understand.
That decision, get it done.
Application of reserve policy calculation back to fiscal year 2022. Recommended action item, motion to direct staff to apply current policy 3021 on capital reserve back to time of the rate study. Fiscal year 2022 is where it began.
Anybody got 21?
Mark, I believe that was,
I do.
This is the one that I had originally put in and,
This is about reserves.
this 3021, yeah, the reserves
Yeah.
going back to 2022.
yeah, so this is a reminder where we were. We agreed on and changed the description of the reserves in our prior meeting. That was all done. But what we didn't do, on those reserves, we said they will accumulate from one year to the next. They're not just a year to year, event. It accumulates. And this is what I'm trying to do in this one is to put that definition back to the time of the rate study so that we can go back and straighten this out. And show that these reserves are being added to and used from and have a final balance. And on that page 43, there's that little table there. And this shows what I believe will happen. It's a pretty good go at it because I did get a fair amount of information from our accountant, our financial manager. And I'm set on the data here. But if you look at in the packet that we just got. And I'm sending you in a different place here now. So I'm looking on page 43, but if you hold that. And look back on page. 10.
Okay, so hold 43, go back to page 10.
Yeah, hold 43, go back to page.
Page 10.
Okay, so on page 10. At the bottom there, it says fund balance is about halfway down. And it says the fund balance on 7/1/24. Which is the beginning of FY 25. And what is the balance at the end, which if you look at the top is June 2025. So that would be FY 25 the whole time. That's the beginning and the end. And then go down and look at capital reserves, and it says we start at 427. We put money in, we took money out, transferred some money in. Looks like we transferred it in, and we ended up at 427 at the end. So that was our policy that we had before. Or at least that's the way it was being interpreted. Now, if you look at page 43. What this is saying is that if you do the calculations where you allow stuff to accumulate, we would have started with 393,000. We had two.
In 2022.
Oh, I'm going down to the 25 line, just. to
Oh, just
compare-
the 20, okay.
All I want to do is compare that one page, so you understand what I'm doing.
Okay.
It started at 393,
Mm-hmm.
with capital expenses of 271. and I may have done this before this final month was in here. We routinely add 427, which is what our policy says. With will serve fees that came in at 49K. With grants and water, 31K. I just know there's a general change here, 236. So at the end of the year of 2025, it should be about 630, 629,000.
Yeah, 369.
So that's what putting this sort of definition back to that time means, is that we would sort of change how this money is looking at. And that's one of the reasons why we have a lot of money in unreserved, is that money is unreserved, and it should be over here. And so we don't have to say, use Mark's numbers. You know, I think I have in here
The numbers are basically just a reference point, is that what you're?
an idea.
Yes.
Is that we direct the staff to go back and apply the policy on the capital reserve back to the time of the rate study, which is FY 22 beginning, which is what I have here. And so this is an example, so that you can see what's happening. And it's gonna be, I think, pretty close to this. This FY 25, I may not have had all that data, because this is about 4 months old already.
So with that, Ron, do you have any questions for Mark?
Not yet.
Okay, Diane?
Well, I do have a comment on what I think about it. Is that what you want me to do?
Yes.
Okay, so I studied both the 2021-22 water rate study. And then I also studied the following yearly budgets up to 2025 to understand Mark's recommendations. Okay, so the fact is that the water rate study is no longer valid. And so, and here's the reason why. The district has strayed from the rate study in 3 significant areas that I'm aware of. When we lost our finance manager and replaced him with LSL, this was an additional $100,000 yearly expense, which was not calculated in the rate study. The second expensive non-anticipated expense was the 10% raise given to all employees, not in the rate study. Then there was the $500,000 payout to Miners Camp for a lawsuit the district irresponsibly initiated. These are 3 huge expenses alone that the rate study did not anticipate. So the rate study is no longer valid. So I don't feel there should be any going back to way back when the rate study was initiated, because it's no longer valid. And I would vote no on it.
Okay, with that said, Mark, is there, in your interpretation of this policy through the rate study, is there anything, what's the benefit of doing this, and what's the pros and cons, I guess, of moving all this into that line?
Well, as you can see, the biggest deal here, you look at the year-end balance, is that we have 629,000 at the end of 2025. And we would start 26
With 629.
with 629, and we'd add 427 to it.
Right.
So we will have a larger balance in our capital reserve to spend capital money on. Whereas if we don't go back, then we're going to start
With 427.
with 427.
So now, with the dollars just sitting in unreserved,
Mhm.
what is the problem with that?
That means it would take something special from us to move it, which is
That
really
would take an action item for us to.
which is kind of what my next one is. One might also say it kind of hurts planning, because that's what the planning committee we should be looking at in terms of how much money do they think that they can spend. And so that's gonna be a difference. That's it.
That's it. So, Ron,
Comment.
yes,
They told us in the last meeting, not the last, or maybe the meeting before, that there was enough money in that fund to go through the last, till it fell all the way through to 25. So it may be not quite as important to make it happen this month, you know what I'm saying?
no, I understand.
There is enough money there because there's no projects planned the rest of the year.
Mhm.
So to transfer that now
Well, and,
Maybe we need a little better study.
mhm.
So let's make sure we're talking about which year. We're in 26 now.
Yeah, I
You
guess.
said we have, it's 25, 26.
2 meetings ago, there was
Not
no fiscal
26,
year end.
27. We're in the middle of it now,
What,
and he said we had enough that we could carry through the year, there's no major projects going on.
which year
Did
is
you
it?
not, Hank?
So with it, so let's not get hung up on.
January 20.
So it's,
Hold on.
we're not gonna pass it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna pass
So let
that.
me try that.
And what's the, because if the district needs money out of that account, out of the unreserved for capital, we could put it as an action item and get it approved for a project, correct? Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and keep in mind that we did change the definition.
And
So
we're
moving
in the
forward-
policy.
Yes, moving forward, it will go to the way I have it calculated anyway.
So it'll roll over. anyways. You were just trying to get it to go back to the 2022
Yes,
to keep with policy.
yes. To keep with, yes, exactly. To keep what was intended when they started this.
Right. So now,
I wanna make my motion anyway, and we
Yeah,
can
go ahead.
vote on it. So I make a motion to direct staff to apply the current policy 3021 on capital reserves back to the time of the rate study, which means FY 22 beginning.
I'll second that.
And that's, you're taking it back to beginning of,
2022, fiscal year 2022. Public comment. Nope, coming back. Roll call vote.
Vice President Bell,
Yes.
Director Thompson,
Did you, I don't think he heard it. He has a hearing problem.
Did I,
You don't think-
you heard him, didn't you?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
he
did.
did. He did.
You're-
He's thinking.
He's thinking.
He's thinking.
yes, Uncle.
Director Foster,
No,
and President Dowling.
Yes.
3-1, the motion carries.
All right, moving on. You know, to be totally honest, I didn't think we were gonna get that one back. I don't think so.
Okay, so the next one's mine too. Also has to do with capital reserve. So this goes a little bit further. And really goes back to one of the concepts that they had in the rate study, which is that there was going to be extra money coming in from things like water sales, that there was one, but there wasn't the second one. And in that, there were extra monies required to do projects. And so this is looking at taking the money that is currently in the unrestricted plan, unrestricted fund, and designating it over to the capital reserve fund.
Yeah, that's not in policy, but is it 3021?
Is not in 3021. Well, what is in 3021 is what we just talked about.
Right.
The board could put more money in.
Yeah.
So this is going
Okay.
into that item, the board could put money in. And so this is, I'm proposing that we put a pretty big chunk. I had said, by the end of 26, I think we'll need the 2.7. The plan would say we would need 2.748 million by the capital reserve. Now, we're not gonna spend that much money in that amount of time anyway. That would roll over into 27. And I had put in there one of my little items that perhaps we could do part of that, like half. And what I'm really trying to continue to do here is get funds for the capital reserve, because we are currently, the plan even acknowledges that we are underfunding it with our money. With the money that we get, specifically that 427 that we put in, that's not enough. We need to be putting that closer to $1 million a year. So this is trying to kind of catch up with what we're behind.
But even with the rate study, it said 427 a year, right?
427 a year, but there would be other funds coming in that the district is going to get. That's what, these are unfunded, these are other funds that we'll have to get. And that's what I'm saying is, we have enough money to do that funds. And
Did you also talk about just putting half of it in?
I did talk about putting half of it in, that's not in here, but I did talk about putting half of it in.
Ron, you got any more comments?
But I referenced that you said we don't need anything for the rest of the year.
So I think that was the
So we're-
rest of the year 2025, which ended in
So-
last June.
If I could clarify, Ron, you said you heard me say we have enough money for 25. I meant June 30, 25. I did not mean 25, 26, being June
No,
30, 26.
26, you said we had enough to go till
January
That's what I-
twenty
through,
twenty-six.
through December.
No, that's not what I would have said, because
That's-
that means nothing.
Oh, well-
I would have said 25, meaning fiscal year ending June 30, 2025. I wouldn't have said January. I don't recall, I'm surprised. I don't recall the exact words, but I wouldn't have said January. because
Here,
it means nothing.
here's the thing, in my opinion, once we pass this, number two, F2, there's now going to be, you know, because we're backdating it to 2022, right?
Mhm.
So there's now going to be enough money in there, right?
I consider that.
Yeah. Oh, you consider, when you said we're still shut.
Yeah.
How much is in there?
Well, there will be,
How much is in and out?
after we move those numbers, after.
3 million in there now? How much is in there now?
So what's in their cap reserve as of before we just approved that last one was 427K. After we approved the last one, I believe that when they do their numbers,
Somewhere around.
we will have 629 there.
The last is 2%, right?
Well, 629, but that,
That's
but then we
25.
gotta backdate it to 2022 too.
Yeah.
So then we should be 1.7, right?
No,
Oh, no, because we haven't used, okay, see, that's where I got confused. That's my bad.
but the year-end balances I showed here every year and how it accumulates, so. Based on this, we'd have about 630 in the fund at the end of FY 25, which is June 30th. And so that page that I sent you to, that showed 427, the 427 would be 629.
That was 40 what?
43.
I'm talking about 43 on the chart on page 43. I was referencing you back to the current report on 10, which says the balance at the end of 25, fiscal year 25 is 427. And now this would change that to about 630.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Okay, so here's my issue. My issue is that I don't see anything in front of me. I studied Mark's little chart. And I compared it to the budgets for several years. I could not match the numbers. And so I'm having problem with that we're talking about, we've got this and that, but I don't see anything physically in front of me. That Hank will or could produce, I suppose, is to show the, okay, what was put into it, what was taken out for what items, what capital improvement items. I don't see any of that information, and I'm being asked as a board to approve this change of money into another account when I don't have anything physically to understand in a chart, a balance, a spreadsheet, I guess is what I'm wanting to look at. I don't have that. And but those numbers do not match the budgets because I checked. They don't. I've gone through the budgets for the fiscal years and the numbers don't match.
So
And then Hank, I remember specifically, Hank said, when he was asked about the capital investments, and I think you might have mentioned something about, well, do we need more money to pay for what our plans are for the end of the year? And Hank said, everything's paid for until January. He said that. I've got it.
Well, and that's because
So my answer is no. I will not, I don't.
so when we're not taking a vote on it yet.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's why I'm a no.
And is this time sensitive right now, Mark?
no,
What did you say? I didn't hear that.
Is it time sensitive right now? Is this,
Oh, okay.
so if you wanna make a motion, you can.
I'd like to give it a try and I'd say that that's just kind of put a cap on it. We can bring it back.
Mhm.
I make a motion to move 1,400,000 from the general unrestricted fund into the capital reserve.
Any seconds?
So you wanna move half of it?
Yeah, that's about half.
1.4 is what you said?
Yeah.
Any seconds? Going once? Going twice? No seconds?
Okay.
And then I'll motion that we table this item. Until a further meeting date, I don't know, Mark, when you wanna bring it back.
If you want to table it, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
The only reason why Diane was saying no is because she hadn't got to look at it yet, and I'm
Yeah,
more
okay.
along the same line, so, so I'll make a motion to do that. Can I get a second?
I'll
Oh,
second.
yeah.
Okay.
To table it, right?
Yes, public comment? Nope, coming back, roll call vote, please.
I'll make sure I have a motion, table item till a later date,
Mm-hmm.
no specified date.
September's gonna be busy to October.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't think
well, not
we're near that. But anyway. Who seconded it? I missed that.
Diane. Are you?
I heard Ron,
Oh, Ron did?
does somebody have a
Yeah,
preference?
I think they both did. Do you guys have preference to second that?
No, I
Okay,
didn't.
then Ron and
I was split second half.
Vice President Bell,
Yes.
Director Thompson,
Yes.
Director Foster,
Yes,
President Downing.
yes.
4-0, motion carries.
All right, and the next is the operating budget. So approved resolution 2025-03, adopting fiscal year 2025-2026 operating budget. Recommended action is approved resolution 2025-03. Or, thank, or actually, Mark, are you, well, you were the finance committee.
So, yeah, well, I think at a nice, beginning of this, where you kind of talked about it. You know, between, getting information out of our accounting group and putting this budget together and reviewing it, we spent a lot of time on this. And Hank did the summary. We talked about this last time, but apparently there was some lack of information. So hopefully, and time to review, so hopefully that's taken place. And I just go ahead and let Hank talk about the details that he wants to hear.
There it is, it was prepared utilizing a lot with the finance committee. We didn't have finance committee meetings because Roger was not available. Been a considerable amount of the preparation time, either in the hospital, in surgery, or back and forth. So worked with LSL to provide the numbers. Put them into a spreadsheet. Presented that to Mark, back and forth, and so there's a budget in front of you. So it's balanced budget. Will again provide for positive net position for the district, depending on how expenses and things go. These are all just predictions. And so it's in front of you. I remember at the last meeting, you said we need a little more time to look at it. And so that's been a month, and there it is. I can answer questions if you'd like.
And so, Ron?
Okay.
Okay, Diane?
yes. Okay, my position hasn't changed. And that is that the policy was not followed. 30-20, there was no LSL. If we consider them the finance people, they should have initiated the budget. That's how it's always been done. In fact, if you look back at the minutes, which I did for the last 10 years, Roger initiated the budget with the assistance of Hank. Hank's job description says, bullet point 7 says that he is to assist the finance manager, which we're considering as LSL. LSL did not initiate the budget. Hank did the budget. And Mark admitted at the last meeting that he did not hold a finance committee meeting, which is supposed to be open to the public. That's all about transparency. And he only had some conversations with LSL. That's not good enough for me. So now that's a violation of policy. Let's see, what is it?
30-20.
The Yes, the rich money. Okay, so now, what I'd like to now, you all got this information from our auditing firm, you all got one. And I'm new at this, so this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this before. And they sent it to us. And one of the concerns that the auditing company that does the yearly audit wants to know from us are, number one, are you aware of actual or suspected policy violations? I am. Number 8, are you aware of any non-compliance with the regulations? I am. So I actually called them and I said, oh, I said, is this really important? I said, if we violate the policy, is it a big deal if you're gonna do our audit? He said it was. So so I just want to bring this to your attention, that I am really emphatic about the fact that we have violated the policy. And also, I'm gonna say this again, the resolution that Hank put out that says, whereas the district has charged the general manager with preparing and delivering a balanced budget was approved by the board. It was not. It was not approved. There's nothing in the minutes that said it was approved. You know, if the board approved it, I'd be okay with that. But it wasn't. The board, didn't approve it, that he would be preparing the budget.
Oh.
So my answer is, okay, one more thing. So my proposal is this, to remedy this situation. My proposal is that we have the budget done by LSL, LSL, and have them do the budget. Now, we could anticipate that they'll just rubber stamp something, okay, that's okay. But I want to see the hours they spent on it to show that they, yes, did look into the budget themselves and how much it cost. That's my remedy, to have them do the budget and to accommodate our policy 3020. That's all I have to say.
So that's a tough one, because a budget is made up of a lot of different steps. And a lot of different items that go into it. So when you say do the budget, that is a pretty big thing. LSL did supply all of the data for the past. When you do a budget, you go back and you look at the past, so you can kind of project the future. The budget, if you look at it, so there are a bunch of prior dates of actuals. I mean, that's not even something that was changed. The 24 actual was put in this year, and the 25 projection. The 24, all data came from LSL. The 25 projection, all data came from LSL to provide that. So all that is stuff that they've already done. And that's something that I believe that they do all the time. We could ask Hank, but I'd be willing to bet that every time he does this, he does what it says FY 2025 budget, that line, that column. So we say the budget, do you mean just that column? No, you mean the whole thing. It says the whole thing. So let me ask Hank, on this little line here that says FY 26 proposed budget for all the past years, who's filled out that column? I have. Okay. So I think we're doing exactly what we have done in the past. We just didn't have a Roger Carroll here. I bet if we went back to the time when Nicole Scher was here, she's not here today to say that. I bet she had a huge impact on what this was, and she is a board member, not LSL, and not Roger Carroll. So I think that this budget is prepared close enough to what we've certainly done in the past.
I don't disagree with that sentiment. But I also see where Diane's coming from as well, like I always do. I can see both sides of the argument here. To follow policy, because this is the road that we've gone down now, like everything that we're wanting to do is for transparency and policy.
Right.
Your recommendation was what, Diane?
Oh, my recommendation is to have okay, I would have been happy if LSL came to the meeting and said, because of what Roger Carroll did. It's in the minutes, and for years and years and years, he would present the budget to the board. He would present it himself. He also would be, they also would have a meeting, which didn't happen, with the finance committee, which would be the 2 board members and Roger. but I would like to see LSL have a meeting so that it's open to the public. And, with the finance people. With LSL, that says in the policy 30/20, and then LSL coming to our board and presenting the budget, which is what Roger used to do. That's all in 30/20. That's all I'm asking. It's just the idea that we gotta follow policy and, LSL, we're paying them big bucks.
Well, and the other thing is, and I can understand real quick, Diane,
Yeah.
just to,
that's pretty much it, yeah.
just to do the opposite, play devil's advocate here a little bit. And that's probably where Hank was probably thinking the less time we have to spend with LSL, I can probably do this. The less they're gonna charge us, cause they charge us about $150 an hour, so that's gonna, just to give you, so when they do this. As a board, we decide, we vote on this. And we say, hey, we need LSL's approval on this.
Mhm.
We're going to be spending probably upwards of, $1,200 at least for them to do this.
And the reason we need a finance manager in-house.
Right, so, but I'm just letting you know, that's,
I understand, I want to do that,
Yeah,
I
and now-
know that.
now, Mark,
I wanna actually, since you mentioned 30/20, could we go through 30/20, please? It's on page 2022 of our.
what is it?
122.
122.
What's it, John?
122.
Page 122.
Here it is, right
There
here.
we go.
Here it is. 30/20, policy 30.
So on 30/20/10, it says an annual budget proposal shall be prepared by the finance manager and the general manager. I believe we meet that. We have LSL and the general manager, they have the budget proposed here. 20, prior to review by the board of directors, the board's finance committee shall meet with the finance manager and the general manager to review the annual budget proposal. We tried. Okay, the finance committee chairs here saying we tried. The problem was, every time we go try to do something, Roger wasn't available. He's not available today. Should we stop our business because he's not here? No, we have to keep going. By the way, this is not the only time since I've been here where the finance committee did not meet and approve a budget.
Couldn't you do it with one person? You,
Sorry?
couldn't you meet with just you without Roger? And also,
Hold on. You've asked me a question, could I meet with just me? Yes, I did that, and that's why I said, as the finance committee chair, that's what I first started off in here. Is that
She's saying holding a public.
Yeah, public meeting,
Hold a public meeting.
yeah.
I suppose we could have. In the past, it has not been
And I get where she's coming on this, Mark,
forthcoming.
and that's. When we gotta at least go through the procedure.
Well, wait a minute, it doesn't actually say that.
Well, maybe, it might not actually say it there, but I think for the public to go through those
It doesn't
steps.
say that.
It's what's been done for years and years.
Well, but we know,
Yeah.
at least we missed one year because that was when Jane was on the finance committee and they didn't do it.
Can continue on.
So let me go through it. It says review the board of directors, the finance committee shall meet with the finance manager, done. And the general manager, done. And review the final annual budget.
No, it's not done, Mark. You didn't accommodate 30/20.20 LSL, no, yeah.
No, that's what he's saying. He said he met with LSL and the general manager.
In a meeting,
Doesn't say it,
to the public,
doesn't say that.
to the public.
It doesn't say that.
Come on, it's supposed to have, I don't know where it is in the board policy, I'm sure it's somewhere.
It says if we had had a meeting with these people together, then we would have had it in the public, but we only did it one at a time. I met with the finance manager,
It
and with the
doesn't
general manager.
accommodate this policy, it doesn't.
It does.
So
There's
we're
no.
gonna sit here and beat our heads against the wall.
Okay, agreed. So let's move on to 30. The proposed annual budget reviewed and amended by the finance committee shall be reviewed by the board no later than its regular meeting in June. I think we missed that,
You did.
but it was certainly amended by the finance committee. And it's been presented by the board, and the board rejected it the first time without having enough time to look at it. It's coming back. There's no way for us to go back. Right? We cannot meet this policy.
Yes, you can.
We can do it in June.
No, you can just have LSL come in and do it
No,
again.
I'm
by
on 30.
September.
You're stuck back in
Oh,
20, I'm 30.
that's being a little, well, I don't know what the word is.
Oh, and you were actually on. You'd actually
No.
already read through 30, I think.
That's what I'm saying, the proposed annual budget as reviewed by the finance committee shall be reviewed by the board no later than its regular meeting in June, and we can't do that.
Yeah, and then you moved on to the proposed annual budget is amended and then reviewed,
Well,
should be adopted in July.
that's what I was gonna go to next.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that either because it's August. So I don't think we can meet those. Now, would I would like to meet those? Yes. Did we try to meet those? Yes. But did we? No. I think we just have to accept the fact that, okay, sometimes it's not gonna work. And it didn't work at all when Roger unfortunately died. I mean, that put us in a heck of a bind. It was impossible to do that. So, you know, is that a desire? Absolutely. Is it absolutely a mandate? Oh, I don't know. You know, if this is the kind of thing, if, you know, she said, go back to the auditors and say, wow, we didn't follow this. Well, I probably look and say, well, okay, how bad was that? That's not bad. The grand jury probably look at that. If we had a suit on this, that would all be looked at to see how close did we come. And I would say we got close enough. I'd like to take topics
Transparency's missing.
no, because we did all of it here.
No, no.
We did the
Yeah,
budget.
the-
Hold on, we're not gonna do the back.
Nope, we're not, you're right. So can we go to page 60? I'd like to make a proposal to us. Page 60 is the resolution 2025-03.
I tell you, Binders, handy as hell.
I'm glad you came to the
Right,
right side. Okay. So I would propose that we change the wording in this resolution. And on the second paragraph that says the district is charged the general manager with preparing and delivering the balanced budget. I don't see that we need that. Check that out.
You said page 16.
6-0.
So what did Mark say he wanted to do?
He wants to,
So let me
right,
get for,
okay.
for Ron to catch up. I thought you were there. Hit the 60.
I was on 16.
I'm confused, I'm sure. Okay, so this is the resolution that is proposed that we make for passing the budget. So I'm saying, let's fuss with the language to see if we can get something we can agree with. So let's take out the sentence that says, whereas the district has charged the general manager with preparing and delivering a balanced budget. I don't see that we need that. Do you believe we need that, Mr. White?
So this is the standard resolution that's been in use for years. I don't have any problem with changing that whereas, the whereas is just stating things that have been stated in the past.
Okay.
So it's fine eliminating the second whereas.
All right, so let's try for the third.
Well, wait, I wanna say something.
Uh-huh.
You wanna take it out because it's not true.
Well, you said it wasn't true.
It isn't
and
true.
And it doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's false information. That, my point is that it says that the board, whereas the district has charged, no, they didn't. And you wanna take it out to make it look legal, but
Well,
it's
now it's,
accurate.
so that's why he's taking it out.
To make it accurate.
He's striking it because it's,
You're good, I'll have to tell you, you're pretty sharp.
Diane, that's not,
Well, I'm telling you, no, I'm telling you, this is a lie. That's where I'm coming from. It's not true.
but that's why he's taking it out.
Yes, to make this, okay, I don't know what to say. This is just unbelievable. I mean, why would you take it out? Why? Why are you taking it
Because
out?
you're objecting to it, and it does, to my looking at it, it doesn't anything necessarily important for us, let's take it out, let's not lie.
Yes, it does, because what it's saying is that it gives, the whole paper in general is saying that the budget is, that the board has given the general manager the ability to do the budget.
No, it doesn't say anything at all, if you take it
Yes,
out.
it does.
But if you take it out, it doesn't,
I can't believe it.
but that's what he's saying.
Does it make sense to you what they're saying?
You're working at the second sentence?
Yeah,
The
The
second-
third sentence is next.
it's not true.
But that's why he's taking it out.
I'm not being articulate here, but it's like, okay, it's not true. So let's just remove everything that's not true to try to get it so that it's okay for the general manager, which is violation of board policy, to do the budget.
Well, the first sentence says, the board of PUD desires this operation to be performed in a physically responsible manner. Like it should be,
Fiscally responsible.
right?
Well, and following 3082.
So, but if we take out. The district has charged general manager with preparing and delivering a balanced budget. Which actually,
Why don't you just
It's
remove the
30.
whole paper? Just remove the whole paper. I mean, I'm okay with that, if you remove the whole paper. That was my objection, that it wasn't true. And so I'm okay with removing the whole paper.
So,
I'm okay with that, you know, the whole resolution.
well, let's go there. Mr. White, we need a resolution to pass the budget.
I don't believe so. It's been used for a number of years, this exact format,
close 30.
but I don't know the legal requirement for a resolution.
Okay, well, Diane, thank you. In that case, I will make a motion that we approve the fiscal year 2025-26 operating budget as presented in this meeting.
That's not what you were talking about. You were talking, I thought you were gonna make a resolution to remove this document.
Well, use
We're not gonna use the document, we're just gonna approve the budget.
Oh, okay.
without the resolution.
Are we going to then discontinue, then, okay, so this is now,
This is no longer, this is coming out.
good, very good. Okay, I like that. Okay. But that doesn't mean you still don't have a violation of 3082 or whatever, which one it is. That's still.
But in here's, so I haven't spoke on this a whole lot, I've been trying to let you guys kind of hash this out a little bit,
Well,
but
I'm done.
my theory on this is. Whether we follow policy up to this point or not, we still need a budget. And this budget, from looking over it. Hank doesn't screw around, but he actually does a pretty good job on that. Past years, he's done a pretty good job on it. Now, going forward, from this point forward. We need to hold that standard, right? We know, or now I know, I'm a little bit that, I'll just speak for myself here. Now I know when we need to be asking the questions, hey, how are we doing on the budget? What does the finance manager said and stuff like that, bring up in like meetings in March and April, make sure that we're getting this stuff down, but that shouldn't keep us from holding up this budget.
So. We keep talking about the finance manager.
Mhm.
And we're referencing the finance manager as LSL,
Yes,
or
Mark,
they're supposed to be an interim part, not the finality.
but they still are at this point. Up to this point, they are,
They're contracted
at this point.
to do our accounting. They don't do the budget. They haven't done the budget.
no, it's not even in there, Jim. Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is. Make a motion to approve this budget. Okay. Cause we need a budget for this year, right? And then when we hire a new finance manager, or when we go through that process. Then they'll have a whole year by the time next year comes around, right? And then we'll be nice, new and fresh, everything will be good. And then we can make a sink at that point, right? But at this point, let's get this passed.
Well, I still have a problem with the fact that,
Cause right now we're holding it up because because even if we get a new finance manager hired within the next month,
have LSL do it. That's, you have big bucks, let them do it. You take them just 2 or 3 weeks. And then present it next month.
hey, were they? And was LSL, you have emails from them telling you what your numbers were, so you could put this budget together?
Yes, LSL.
You were in
performs the
conjunction.
function
You
that
have
Roger-
emails for that.
I do. Request for the P and L, probably through, when was the first request? April? Maybe? Request for an updated P and L, in, May. I can't remember, final numbers. You know, I remember we had some issues projecting, long-term, interest expense. And so I sent an email to LSL to put together a projection for long-term interest expense.
So they were
involved, just like Roger was, not
probably not just like Roger.
Roger knew a little bit more about the operation. And so probably, I would consult with him a little bit more on, projections as I filled out, the budget. But as Mark has been here and involved in this budget for,
Last
very, very close since 2023, but for the last 8 years.
About that, yeah.
I relied heavily on his input as we were filling up the budget. All of the numbers, as Mark said, all of the numbers from that last column to the right, those all come from LSL. The numbers in the very last column are a product of mine, always have been, and for the last 13 years. They always have been what I've done as part of the contribution towards the budget. So it's really developed very similarly to previous years. What is this?
So,
Well, it hasn't been done, it's been done, I've looked.
so, but here's the thing.
Well, I'm a no vote, okay, you still,
Well, I know that, but I'm just trying to see what you can, we need to move forward. So I think we're,
I mean,
and if, when we hire a new finance manager, it's gonna take them a while before they know the numbers, so we get a year, and then we have a budget that's a year behind. You see what I'm saying? So I'm suggesting that we get this budget passed. And then we'll have that, hopefully have a new finance manager or somebody that we've agreed upon by the time next year rolls around.
how do you think the auditor people are gonna feel about that? Cause they.
Well, because, so we've just cleared 2 audits.
I know, but are you familiar with audits, how they work, or how many different degrees of audits I'm sure you are, right?
Similar, I'm not great on.
Well, I am, because I've been working with an attorney years ago in my other life. Is basically the only audit that's really significant to know if things are really right is what's it called, the one that they investigate, what's that audit called? Forensic audit. So a regular audit, all they say is, oh, you added everything up. Oh, that's nice. So when I hear somebody say, well, it's been audited, and so everything must be right. It's all it means is they added up the numbers correctly. That's all it means. Fiscal audit is really what gets into depth of stuff and starts looking to see, if everything. Forensic audit, yeah. So when somebody tells me about an audit, that means nothing to me. I just feel.
But do you understand where I'm coming from with the finance manager?
I-
We're not gonna have one until we
Yeah.
get through to next year, plus LSL was providing numbers
Yeah, but
for
that's it.
this,
But they didn't do the budget, and then I've got this thing from Hank that he put out, it doesn't even say that they're in charge of the putting the budget together, they've just given him numbers or whatever they've done.
on 3082 states the general manager and the finance manager.
Assistant, it says that the general manager in Hank's job
So-
description is he assists the finance manager.
Mark, you wanna make a motion real quick, just see where we go on this?
I made a motion to approve the
Yeah,
budget
so I
as
can
is.
do it
Really
because I'm a no
surprised.
vote, so it doesn't matter.
Can I ask you a question about,
Sure,
does this reflect the $2.7 million?
that we tried to move or anything? No,
This without,
it does not reflect that.
so if we're looking at the budget revenues and expenses by fund, anyway. What's on page 49? And it states the general fund
Oh,
revenue.
sorry, it does. If you look, you're right, on page 59, it does,
59, not 49?
59.
I was just there. Okay.
But you got a good one, because it is not in the revenue page up on front, but if you look under there under capital reserves, it says board designated transfers. And that is a proposed budget. And if you want to take that out, I'd be more than happy to take that out.
Yeah, cause I see on the first general fund unrestricted on page 59. The first column. Transfers. 3.176 million.
Yeah,
That's
so
426.
that's
If
the
you go
proposal.
back to FY 25. The transfers are 294,000. So that's why I'm asking, is that reflected in this?
So I'll amend what I said earlier, that it is in here. If we go back and look at board designated transfers on the bottom there under capital reserves where it says 2.7498 in there. I did put it there. It is not in the revenue page that's up in the front. Does not look at that there. And so that number would have to be,
Amended.
well, it have to be, so does it? I would propose that we amend it, but if we do this later, remember what I just talked about, if we go through and we do it later, then it'll be appropriate to come back and put it back into.
Yeah, 'cause we did table it.
We table it, so it is sort of.
So would it be kind of in limbo on that?
Yeah.
Well, we'd have to amend it either way and say, that line item would be pending board approval.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I say that is because if you go back on the same column of 23. Actual, 24 actual, then you get to,
Which page are you on now?
Same page.
Same page on 59?
yeah.
Okay.
First thing in transfer. Go back to those past years, there was 3.1 million transferred, then 762,000, 294,000, and now we're back up to 31. But it says FY 2025 budget, doesn't say anything there, but we're already
So
way
FY
into it.
FY25 budget did not have this page, so there is no budget.
You're talking about 26.
Right.
No, if you look at the column at the top, this is FY25 budget,
Mhm.
and that whole column.
It's blank.
That's because we didn't, this page was not in the budget. So there was no budget. And that whole, the rest of that section on capital reserves. And the money of 427 coming in and the stuff going out. Is based on the data that I just showed you. In terms of going backward and providing it backwards.
But you look back up at the top. The next column, FY 2025, March,
Projection, yes.
yes, and once you get there, it transfers 294,000.
Up at the
Big
top.
numbers, 3.1 million. It's projected through 26.
No, that's projected through 25. When it says FY25 March projection, what that means is
Yeah,
that that's
that's 25
FY25
projection,
projected
Correct.
It
based
was
on March data.
294.
No, you're right, you're right.
Mark, it was just for that month,
No,
or through March,
through March.
okay.
Well, is it just gonna be part of the discussion we both on? Push back?
No, not that part, because that part you're talking about that on the March projection, that is what happened up to March in 2025. Maybe I give you a little bit of flavor of what I talked about when you kind of build the budget, is you kind of look at the past and what you're doing now to see how does it sort of fit in.
Yeah.
So if you go back and you have 24 actual, 23 actual on this page, you can look and kind of see what happened in the past.
Yeah, cause they're,
What can we expect in the future?
because the past, they're right into 3.6 and below to 3.2 and everything. Then you get up to the projected 3.6, you know? I mean, I can see the relationship there.
Yeah.
I get that.
So then, using March data, we say, all right, we're at March. What are we gonna be like at the end of the year? And that's what this does. March projection says, this is what we think will be at the end of the year. So you can compare, and here you only have 3, on all the rest of them, you have about 5 actuals. 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 5 actuals and the projection.
Right.
So you can kind of see what's happening. You know, are you spending more this year or less this year? And how can I adjust that and think about that? How would I put that into the budget?
Yeah, quite a bit,
That's-
why was 2025 so much less? But no, I'm not even, no, not gonna do that.
Where?
See, you look in that same section, in the fund balance ending on the FY 25 March projection. That is also figured out at 3.6 million. But then when you bring it forward, only 1.2 million.
So, the 3.6 million I see under FY25 March projection. Under general fund, unrestricted, that column, that area. And then if I look over at FY26 proposed budget,
Right,
I see fund balance beginning is the same number. 3608,650.
yeah, what I was talking about, the ending.
Balance fund ending is 3608.
Fund balance ending.
Yeah, it says 3,608,653.
Fund balance
That's
ending in
12958.
Where do you get one?
on 26. 12589. Is that what you're talking about?
Fund balance ending on 26 proposed budget.
Yeah, 1.258.
The top,
Oh, I see, okay,
Fund
yeah,
balance ending.
down the bottom.
yeah, okay.
It's confusing when he says it's at the top, but it's down at the bottom. It's-
We're gonna go on this till next time when we do
Well,
it now.
I think we're very close to.
Well, the
making
budget,
that.
I think we're getting somewhere on it, actually.
So this is, if I go through that column, it says we start at 3.6 million in unrestricted. We have revenues of 3.1 million. We have expenditures of 2,314,000. We have transfers of 3,175, and that's kind of up there, we don't know where that's gonna go. And then we'll end up at 1.2.
Right,
And that transfer was putting 2.7 down below.
what one and what one?
2.748 of that
Yeah, that's in the.
is the down
fund
below.
balance capital reserve.
So if we take that out, it's not gonna happen up there either.
So if you put that back with the 1.3, you're looking at closer to 5 million.
I'd add 2.7 in there, no, it'd be about, yeah, maybe close. Or just about 5 million. Yes,
Now, it looks to me like the capital reserve was plenty funded. Without the 2.7.
okay, so we didn't approve that.
So I know,
So,
we're moving.
so if it'd make you feel better. Let's see, we have a motion pending, I would like to amend that motion, so I'm gonna do that,
Well, nobody got a second on it anyway, so.
yes. To approve the FY 26 budget as presented. With the modifications of removing the board designated transfers from page 59 of the 2.748 and adjust the 3.17 transfers under fund balance. Let's see, respectively, correspondingly.
So you wanna take the 2.7 out of the,
Yeah, that's 2.78,
Put it
we need to
back
approve
up.
that, take it
put it
out,
back up in the top?
yep, put it back at the top.
I agree.
Oh, look at that.
But I have a second?
No, second, is that it? I'll second that.
Because capital reserve, there is enough.
You have a good minutes. Can I read the motion?
Well,
We know,
yeah,
or do you wanna wait?
Let's do public comment real quick, because it might change. Public comment? It's not gonna change. Okay, coming back.
I, somewhat cryptic, approve fiscal 26 budget. By removing transfers 2.78 million, I'm gonna need that to be filled in. I got-
Which block is that in? Mark?
Sure, that's,
Would that be in the general fund balance, or
It's in-
break it down? Like,
let's say special reserves sheet, board designated transfers. FY 26 proposed budget. Remove 2.748.
moving transfers of 2.748 on page 59. All right. I'm,
And then the second part of that then is up under general fund unrestricted, it says transfers. Shows 3,175, and we'll have to take 3,175 and subtract
Yes.
2,748 out of it.
yes. Yep, I'm on it.
and that's transfers there. Gonna have to go back to the owl. Pay attention to this. All right, roll call vote.
Vice President Dell,
Yes,
Director Thompson,
Yes,
Director Foster,
No,
President Dowling.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1.
that's none of the budget was done by a reasons.
Make sure we get it right when we read this one. Finance manager.
Yeah, we will, we will.
you're right.
It'll get, it'll, when we have a finance manager, it will go well.
Okay, and now this one should be pretty easy. Board to consider,
wait,
oh, what?
I'd like to request, we've been at this for 2 hours, can we have a 10-minute break, please?
How about 5?
Okay,
Recess for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Bathroom break.
I'd like to go to, you know.
All right. Back at it. Here we go. Back in session. All right, so board to consider casting ballot for Placer County Local Agency Formation Commission to fill open special district board member seat. So. Do you all remember the LAFCO?
Yes.
Okay, this is for the reserves.
Oh, it's different, it's a different one?
It's different. So the one that we voted on last time was for the
Oh,
main seat, right? There was a main seat that was vacant.
Part of.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the person that got the position was the reserve seat. And so now the reserve seat's open, now we have to vote on that.
oh, so, okay, so who did get it?
Judy Friedman.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, don't have her.
No, she's down in Tulsa. I mean, they're probably not gonna take a recommendation for this one either, but we can send in the vote.
Oh,
So with that said. On June 10th, 2025, LAFCO initiated the nomination process for the selection of an alternate special district representative requesting that special district presiding officers submit nominations for a qualified special district board member to fill this open seat. LAFCO received 5 nominations. All 5 candidates are listed on the attached ballot. Each candidate submitted a statement of qualifications, which is included in your packet. So, what they got right there. There's, Pete Gallegos, is that how you pronounce that name? Richard Hercules from Forest Hill, Jim Holmes, Placer Resource Conservation District, Jenny, Nisley, Newcastle, Brockton, Gold Hill Cemetery District, and Scott Wilson, Tahoe Truckee, Sanitation Agency. Mark, anything to comment on that?
Well, I can't remember who we voted for last time, but I think it came down to
it was Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, let's do Richard Hercules again.
Ron?
No one.
I'm good, yeah.
Okay,
I make a
And I-
motion, we nominate Richard Hercules for LAFCO.
I'll second that. Public comment? Nope. Coming back? Roll call vote?
Who was second?
I was.
Okay.
So I'll make the vote for an exclusion.
Oh, you're abstaining?
Where are you, by the way?
Well, it would be right
No,
now.
I don't know any of them.
Oh.
Oh, you just abstained.
Oh, okay.
Vice President Bell,
Yes.
Director Thompson,
No vote.
Director Foster,
Richard Hercules, yes.
President Dowling.
Yes.
So 3-0. Motion carries.
Okay. And then. So then, there's a water service request. This is item 6. APN number 256-020-004 on Rimrock Court. Recommended action, approve a remote service connection for APN, what I just read. Hank, you wanna take this one real quick?
So this request for water service is not a common request. We get maybe one a year or maybe one every 2 years. It's where the parcel requesting service doesn't lie adjacent to existing district infrastructure. And so we bring this to the board to let you know that facilities won't be extended. It makes no sense in this situation to extend facilities to a single parcel. And the recommendation is to approve, authorize approval of the application for water service. We will set a remote meter within a currently owned district easement adjacent to existing distribution lines. And then the property owner will be responsible for an easement and their own private water line to the parcel.
Okay, and they're aware of that.
Yes.
Mark?
Having gone through this before, this makes sense to me. So, yeah, this is good. I don't have any questions.
Ron?
Does the easement have any income to the district?
No, the easement is an agreement between two private property owners. The district isn't party to the easement.
So one might possibly pay the other one,
It's up to them.
Whatever their
It's up to
agreement.
them, whatever their agreement is, yes.
Now, is there a possibility of, other lots developing in that area?
It could be, but. Yes, other lots could develop in the area.
There are people thinking about it.
I have no idea on that.
Okay.
I'm saying they're,
I know
they're
there's guys
zoned
running
for
around Pond
development.
Valley all the time. Buying up lots, spare lots and puts them on it and sells it.
Westler,
Diane?
What's
Not-
your
Westler, I think is his.
Wexler.
Westler, no, W, yeah, Westler, and I'm like, it's like German. I don't have any comment.
Jewish.
name? No.
Oh, it's Jewish, okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve placing the remote meter. Does that sound about right?
Mhm.
I second.
Oh, comment? Nope, coming back. Roll call vote.
Vice President Bell,
Yes.
Director Thompson,
Yes.
Director Foster,
Yes,
President Dowling,
Yes.
motion carries 4-0.
Woo-hoo, look at us go. So proud of all of you. Can't find her. Okay. Moving right along, G
so
one.
I'd like to start it because
Let me just read this real quick, then I'll let you go right. Just no big one. Director request to discuss hiring an in-house finance manager, recommended actions, discuss and direct staff accordingly.
Okay, so last month, we talked about, you wanted an ad hoc committee, and, so, of course, we didn't do that. But what I did do was a lot of research to present to you people about how you go about, and it's all in the packet. I'm sorry, I forgot to put the numbers on. Oh, yeah, I do put the numbers on. Okay, so what I put together was, how we go about doing this, and I call that the logistics information, and it's on page 97. And, and what I did was, I mean, this is just something to work with. I mean, I know that, I just put a salary of 70-95, thinking part-time. I have no idea. You guys could adjust that. I'm fine with that. And then, of course, it would be a part-time. So part-time would be 10 days. And again, maybe that would be something that would be negotiable with a person, a candidate, what days he wants to work, and I put a bunch of selection, different ones. I also then put that, researched, the amount of money it would cost to post it. Indeed, is free, and then there's MMANC, it's free, I don't remember what the acronym stands for. The CSDA, I talked to them, and its job posting is free. The Auburn Journal for 3 lines would cost anywhere between 165 to 185 for one day. I don't like that. That's too much, too expensive. The Messenger, I talked to Steve, and I put down the numbers here that he gave. And it's all in here, like a 3x4 is $55, 5x3 $75. It's pretty reasonable in the black and white.
Hey, Dan,
Yeah.
real quick.
I apologize, Mr. Dowling. So I'm gonna be working in my classroom
Okay.
up there. So if you guys, I apologize. I'm so sorry. If you alarm down here, which you're probably instructed to do, right? And if I'm working up there, it's gonna trip it. So
Okay,
please,
so
what I
don't
think is-
alarm.
yeah, and I don't know if you still have my cell number.
I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it right here for you or Jake, but don't alarm please when you leave and I will alarm when I leave.
You're gonna be at the next building up there?
I'm up there in
Carl,
Carl's.
if you leave before we do, Carl's up there with you.
Carl's with me.
Okay.
Everything
leave
always
before
feels
we
better
do-
when I say Carl's with me.
Yeah, if you leave before we do, just let us know.
Yeah, hey, honk on the way by, that's all.
Okay, yeah, but I'm in number 12, I'm up there.
Thanks,
Yeah, and
Annette.
that's kind of that one with the issues, like, we don't, like, I was happy to see you guys down here, I'm like, oh, I better, because if you guys alarm.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know.
Well, I apologize for interrupting your meeting with that, and then I'm gonna send you my phone number.
Alright.
Alright,
Thank
thank you,
you.
I apologize for interrupting you guys, thank you.
So then then I realized that you're supposed to put a job description, in the posting. So I have that included as well. Where did I put that? The template job, that's on page 99 to 100. And I wrote this And what I did was I looked at a whole bunch of different postings. And and gathered information, but the one that was the most significant to me was, San Lorenzo. I know this because I used to live down in that area. San Lorenzo, I know where that is, and, they had a posting for a finance manager. They called it a finance director. And so I took a lot of their information, the way they posted it, and used that. And then threw in some things from other companies as well. So this is just a draft that I put together, but it's something that we can post. You know, it has all the information, and one of the significant things that, because Sue had mentioned this, Sue Kiesling, she had mentioned this at the last meeting, that, that finance managers apparently do have some background training, for grant, at least looking at grants and understanding them. And Sue, her recommendation was to throw this in, that it would be nice if we could find somebody that also did grants as well. So that's in the job description. You guys can, you know, you can edit it the way you want. And then the other thing, okay, and then getting back to applications and resumes, how they arrive. And then what we would do is, you know, look at the resumes. And I'm hoping that, that Hank would go along with this, that if somebody submits a resume on our website, that it goes to both Hank and the board. Both. And, so that's something that I'm looking at as well. And then, also, I found out that we can do interviews in, closed session. That's legal. I don't care if I do it back or forth. Yeah, it's legal.
So, so real quick, before we put the cart before the horse, because
Okay.
this is all. If we approve hiring finance.
Right, that's right. That's right.
Right, so
But
this would
you
be,
wanted that information, because
Yes.
that's what you wanted to.
I do appreciate.
Yeah, and then
So-
also, the one more thing though, I do want to give you an update of the, cost of LSL at this point. And now it's up to $185,968 is what we paid for one fiscal year for LSL, and we have one more month to go. So it's probably gonna be $193,960.
We don't have to do numbers yet. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, this, no,
We don't have to do numbers?
oh, yeah, that's right, we don't.
Got it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay,
And that's it, but it's all there, I put it together, and
so we'll start over here now, Mark. Comment?
We didn't talk much about hiring of finance manager, we only talked about the logistics. But I do wanna talk about that, I had some comments here. So. I mean, Roger was working about a day a week, so 4 days a month. And it looks like this logistics is asking for, 2.5 times that.
negotiable, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but that's negotiating our cost, but. It's. Okay, so you see the issue there is that we're looking at more there.
Well, not really,
Okay, clicks.
A job description, I saw what you did here and, I think it was you that were the one that came back and said it's certainly easier to compare changes. If you show the text that we're working with, and we have a job description.
wait, oh, that's a good point, that is a really good point. What I discovered was that they're two separate things. That you don't take your job description, your word policy and post it, it's not that, it's not how it's done. You have to come up with what I came up with, but I agree with you, that's what I thought too, I thought that made more sense to take our board policy and put it in posting. But but don't forget though, our board policy doesn't put in a lot of other information that I've got in here. Like the amount of money and the amount of, let's see, what else did I put? Oh, yeah, you put a little bit about what they do is, I thought that was pretty nice. They would put in, all of them did this. All of the things that I researched, they put in a little something about your town. So people can look and see, well, maybe I'd like to live in a small town or something like that. And so they did that. And then it was important, I think, for anybody that's applying to know what the workload might be, which is 2,050 ratepayers or in that range. So yes, I agree with you, Mark, that's what I thought too, but there's a little bit more involved based on what I've read and researched that has been posted. Yeah,
And I don't mind, putting some fluff in and doing some things, but it seems to me that there are things in this job description that are not in our job description and therefore are at least not comparable. And those are things like purchasing, warehousing. Currently, we're not asking for experience in procuring grants. And you do have it as experience in procuring grants is desired or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm. According to Sue, that's pretty typical for a
Yeah.
finance
Yeah,
manager.
because one.
Well, I'm just saying, I think you ought to have something to go with that says, why we want to do that or some examples.
Well,
It's just, if it say experience is desired, that's okay. You just, that you don't put it as part of a requirement. Because that would reduce the number of people that we see.
But Sue, yes, exactly, but that's not how it's written, because Sue brought that up to me, she said, no, don't put that as required. She said, but so I revised it and put, it's desired,
Okay,
so, when we interview people,
did you put that in the board packet?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which page?
it's page 99.
99.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, right, this one right here, sitting right in front of me. I already flipped to it.
Probably. I talked to Jane Dollar about this. She worked for a company and she's done over 200 federal grants. It's extremely complicated. Because when you are granted, you have to manage that money.
Mhm.
That means you have monthly reports, that need to go to the Fed, wherever it needs to go, and they are microscopic.
I deal with it all the
Yeah,
time.
it's very, she said it's extremely complicated. So if we have somebody that knows something about grants, I'm not saying it has to be in the criteria, but that would be a benefit.
It would help, for sure. But I think a little bit, we're putting a little bit of the cart before the horse because I agree with everything that everybody's saying. Those are all good points. But we haven't agreed to hire a finance manager.
but that's why you wanted the ad hoc committee to put all this together.
Right, well, so, but the other thing, Hank, we were talking about being able to interview in closed session. And I think you were telling me that we can't do that?
I don't know of, the allowable closed session, items are very narrowly construed by the Brown Act. I don't know of something that allows, a closed session interview of candidates for a position. So I would have to do some research.
I've already done research. So it says, yes, interviewing a job candidate is acceptable in a closed session for special districts in California, provided that any action concerning the amount of salary increase must be held in an open session. This means that while you can conduct interviews, you should ensure that salary discussions are transparent and open to the public. Whereas the Brown Act addresses what topics can be then it talks about the Brown Act, saying that what things can be discussed in closed session. And let me see, the Brown Act sessions, personal matters, negotiations, which would be, well, that's real estate negotiations. They're acceptable to the general rule, but the bottom line is, yes, it's acceptable. And I talked to somebody that's on a board in Placer County somewhere. And she said, oh, yeah, that is acceptable for.
Well, because that was my next thing, so kind of trying to figure this out, because the ad hoc committee, well, my understanding was the ad hoc committee could actually look over the candidates and then interview the candidates. If
What
you,
about the whole board?
that's, well, because I thought that might not been able to do it in the Brown Act, so the ad hoc
Oh,
committee could do
Oh, I
that.
see.
But if the whole board can do it,
Yeah, it can.
then,
And number one, it says director request to discuss, quote, hiring an in-house finance manager. Recommended action, discuss and direct staff accordingly.
right,
So
so
we can do it right now.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Let's hire one right now.
yeah.
Well, we don't have any candidates. But what I'm trying, I got this, I got it.
You haven't, I know what you're saying, we haven't done it officially, we can do it officially now, and then we'll put out the advertising. And I would suggest going Indeed, MAC, and CSDA, because they're free.
And that's also messenger too.
And Indeed is nationwide.
Yeah.
I am going to make a motion.
Yeah,
Can we talk some more?
Or-
Oh, go ahead.
Or Mark, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, we can make a motion and we'll talk.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion that we start the process of hiring a finance manager Doesn't have to be, I want the process to be totally open to all finance managers, in-house or not. I want to know what the best.
What do you mean by
I
that?
thought that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, the in-house, that was.
Well, I want to get quotes from I want to get proposals from everybody.
But, well, yeah, well, that's okay, I get that part of it, but what if all the quotes though, we're still looking for somebody to sit in the office, correct?
Well, we can't, then I want, me personally, I'm making the motion. So
Yeah.
for me and the people that I've talked to,
Yeah,
they want the best bang for the buck. And everybody I've talked to doesn't care if it's in-house or not, as long as we have a finance manager. But, so that's where I'm making mine.
So you're asking for approval, Todd, to contract
To hire,
or hire you, be careful. Contract is just safer way.
yeah, that's what,
well, RFP, put out a request for proposal for a finance manager.
well,
Yes,
I guess
that's the right way.
but also Hank had, and I think Hank is right about this, you know, that. Roger was a contracted person, so in other words, he wasn't an employee that we would have to give benefits to, so it's an external, right?
So the problem, I've talked to some people, and according to AB5, if we direct the person, if we say, you can do this, you can't do that, they're no longer a contract personnel, because they're not an independent contractor.
Even though our board policy has this stuff in
It's 85 was passed, when was 85 passed?
I don't know the date.
Yes, I did, and I could be having that wrong too, 85, so if. I'm
You're
pretty sure
signing a
they-
contract for services.
But you're signing a contract for services, yes, but they're still technically an employee of the district.
Yeah, I guess so. but-
So because it's, we're directing them what to do.
Yeah, we want somebody like Roger, right? I mean, I don't mean him personally, but I mean in the same way that Hank did it with, well, I guess Roger was here before Hank, but.
That's my, I request that we put out I make a motion that we put out an RFP for a new finance.
In-house.
Mine doesn't say it. I wanna look at all.
I don't understand that. We already, I don't understand what you're saying. I mean, I'm being sincere here.
Well, because, and this is, we talked about this on the phone the other day, I want to see every option. Because if LSL is the best option, then they're the best option, but listen to me. If we get the other people, we're gonna all sit here as a board and we're gonna go over each contract and we're gonna see who's the best.
Yeah,
And then that's what our constituents deserves that, the ratepayer deserves that, for us to see who's the best.
yes.
And that's, but if we just limit it to just in-house. And I agree with you, in-house is probably gonna be the best. But I don't know for a fact on that yet, I have to see.
Well,
How it works. If you want a job, you go talk to a company, what do? You're gonna contract. You sign their contract, you don't sign your contract. So that's exactly what you do. You put out that you're wanting to hire,
Finance,
and they come in and they look at,
and you put out the job
and
description,
what they're doing is giving you a resume. So you survey all these resumes, you pick your one, you make a contract with them, they agree, they're on.
exactly,
so
Exactly.
are you saying it's, see, I'm just, I mean, I think I'm okay with what you just said. It's just that I don't understand the alternatives. If we leave out the, in-house, that's probably okay with me, but you say you want to have everybody. So what would be the alternative? Like somebody would come and say, well, I want to do it from home. Is that what you're saying?
no, I mean, I wanna look at all the proposals, that's why it's an RFP, request for proposal.
Okay, let's go with that. It
And
sounds.
then we put out the job description, what we require as a board,
All right,
and if. Whoever can fill those job descriptions, or whoever can come close, and we decide to support, okay, that one's the best,
Yeah.
then that's.
all right. Yeah, because they'll probably figure out they need to be in-house anyway.
Well, they're coming on their resume.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
You
Okay,
know what
alright.
they're
so you
gonna-
don't exclude it.
But also in
Okay.
that. That there should be a 6-month evaluation period.
Well,
We just don't say, oh, you're in now, you know. We need to see if they could do the job.
okay,
So
so,
that's a normal thing.
Well, I'll start and say, I'm actually pretty darn happy with LSL, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't go shopping. And as long as you're talking about something where LSL can resubmit their own thing, and they should be a candidate, I think that's perfectly, legit on your that we phrase that, so, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Now, my point is, cut LSL's pricing in half. You
Yeah.
would save $100,000 a year
Yeah,
by hiring a finance manager, period. We still got time to go.
So I still have a motion out there too, so, and I know we're still discussing this, but I still have a motion out there, Tim.
And your motion again was to hire one?
Put out an RFP.
Or
Or
if I
finance.
hire one or not?
Well, we gotta put out we gotta put out request for proposal, see what we get back.
well, I see
Well,
his
yeah, but
point
we're
though.
saying we're gonna hire.
We won't hire one, yeah, I
We're
think
gonna
he's,
hire?
Well, that's why we're putting out the RFP.
no, I think what he's saying is, and I agree with Ron, is that we want you to make a motion that said, we will hire a finance manager. But then again, you're gonna say, oh, well, LSL is already hired, so maybe that's where the in-house comes in.
Well, so if you, so here's the deal. You guys are reading way too much of this. It's simple. We want a new finance. Right? Or we wanna at least go through the process. And like I said, if LSL, if they come up and they say, hey, we can do this for $100,000 and I'll be available by phone for all you guys every day of the week. If they come back with that proposal and you say no, and they have all that redundancy, would
I
you?
would say no.
would
Yeah, I
you
You know
say-
why I would say no? Cause I can drive up to the office and get the information I know
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah,
Well, exactly, but if they can get you the information immediately, don't you at least wanna hear it?
no, I want him in the
What
office,
in-house.
so I can see what he can
But
talk to me
You guys can
and
give reports.
show me some of the
If
reports.
you have LSL coming up and gonna give you
Yeah,
a report.
Okay, but see, so-
$700.
So, but I wanna hear what, they're probably not gonna be able to produce, to be totally honest.
I know,
But I wanna hear what everybody has to say. I'm not going to make it, this is, like I said, this is my motion, this is the way I'm working. If you guys wanna make a motion, go ahead. But this is the way I think we can come to consensus on this and actually get to starting to looking at finance managers to hire. So
We're starting now.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making an RFP.
Or we're gonna wait till
Yeah,
September
but-
to decide. where-
no, but what he's saying
You
is,
gotta put out the RFP before you can hire one.
I want it in-house, I want that in there, because I see what you're saying. So now I don't agree with what your proposal is, because that could mean you're saying, well, if somebody else comes to us.
So, and then here's the thing, then we're gonna have to push this off again. Okay, this is a totally reasonable thing. Because now we're gonna be at loggerhead, it's gonna be you two against us two.
So.
We're gonna hire one.
That's,
Well, he wants to put it out where it could be somebody just like LSL out there where we'll phone
We
them
want it in the.
in the house, I know, but he doesn't wanna put that.
Okay, so. I can see where you guys are going, but I wanna just provide a little bit other perspective. I heard something like, well, I can just go in and get something. Roger was only here one day a week.
When you put an ad out,
Hang on, it's my turn. If you have somebody here, as you said, 10 days a month. When they're here, they're here. They're not, you're not gonna get anything. I have had excellent response from LSL anytime. Through Hank, say, hey, can you update this sheet? They got it. If you have somebody that says, I'm gonna be there from 3 to 5 every day, Monday, Wednesday, and second alternate fifth Friday, that's when they're there. So don't expect somebody to be in-house is gonna be in-house all the time. They're going to be doing other stuff. And that's a big comparison of where you're finding that.
I got it.
One more thing, Roger was only in-house 1 day a week. He might respond to phone calls once in a while, but he had another job to do. He couldn't
I
be.
resigned my post. Their protest. And do it with 3 of them. I'm done.
So,
That's it.
request for proposal, that is going through the hiring process.
Sure.
I don't know why Ron decided
Because
that
he
was,
wants the in-house like I do.
that's. Then you can make the motion and it's not gonna go in. Right, because here's the deal, this is the best way, because this gets. Our constituency, the best option, will come to the top if you cast a wide net. Get them all, bring them in, start sorting, you're gonna find the best one. If you just cast a small net and go, no, we only want this. Because then when we say request for proposal, they're going to come back at us with their proposal of what they can do for us.
I want somebody in the office, period. So I want somebody to be checking on all of the information. I want the mail to come in and they look at it. And if we don't have it in-house, we're done.
Here's
I'm done.
the thing, guys. If we don't put it out for RFP, we stay with LSL. With the way it
What
is
is
right now,
what's that, what's that letter mean? Just RFL, what does that mean?
LSL or RFP,
Yeah.
request for proposal,
Yeah, for an in-house.
for just a finance man.
Why not in-house?
Chase,
I can't. If
Mark
Mark, please.
Loggerheads. You have a motion out there,
Yes,
let's move this forward and I'll say, I second.
but if she votes no, it doesn't go to.
Exactly. But it concludes this discussion and we move on, because I think we're at loggerheads.
So. Give me just a second. Diane, you see where that's putting us?
It
You
doesn't,
see that we're not going to start the hiring process of a finance manager. We are not going, if we're gonna leave here tonight without starting the process for a finance manager. That's where it's gonna be. And so that's gonna put us into September. And then we're gonna have the same discussion again, and we're gonna beat our heads, and then that's gonna put us into October.
well, it's to
And
be like, we'll have to
November.
find another person to take his place. But it's,
But we could vote as us three,
I won't. It has to be in-house. That is my Evan's whole
Well, then-
objective.
then it stays with LSL.
No, it doesn't.
It is right now. They are our interim finance manager till we hire a new one.
Yeah, but the way you're phrasing it,
No,
that's,
that Ron's changed your mind for this.
no, he hasn't. This is my baby, not his.
No, I know, but when he said, well, you're not, no, an RFP, you throw it out. You say, hey, everybody, come bid on this. And then we have a special meeting and we go, okay, we got all these, now, or before we throw the RFP out there, we hold a special meeting, we go, okay, this is what we want. We want our finance manager to be able to do this, and this. Not necessarily have to be in-house, but you could still say, okay, it has to be $100,000. Or basically between $100,000 and $120,000, part-time, has to be able to handle audits, all these things, all the things that you wrote down, right? Plus some other stuff that Mark's probably gonna throw in, plus some stuff I throw in and Ron, right? And we go, okay, now we can throw that RFP out there. And then we start reeling it in. Okay, what do we got? Then, once we get enough applicants, then we sit down and review that. So, okay, which one looks the best? Okay, this one. LSL says they can do it for $120,000 fix. Well, this guy says he can do it for $80,000. Well, this guy says he can do it for 90. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't, because when, in the end, I can see down the line what could happen. You have all these applicants and there's three of you that will, if you like this particular person and it will not be in-house, you'll vote for it. We'll end up with getting another finance manager, but it defeats Ron and I's purpose that we want them in-house. Because
But-
three of you could go ahead and pick one of those candidates.
But so here's the
They
thing.
won't be in-house.
Here's the thing.
Waste
Is that's the board. That's how the board works. So right now, when we decide not to do it, the person that you don't wanna be doing, LSL, they're still doing the job because we couldn't come to consensus.
That's all I can tell you is that it has to be in-house. That's all there is to it. And if there
Well,
isn't
then-
an in-house,
Then it's not gonna,
there's no, this whole district seat. I really believe that it's so important to have, in fact, I even wanted to do the restructure the chart that the finance person would be independent to the board. Because we need the checks and balances and we don't have that right now. And if you guys then have somebody that's not gonna be in the office, I'll give you an example, is that the credit cards. LSL isn't checking the credit cards. And Andrew Waiteville said she is. That's a board policy violation.
but here, Diane,
LSL isn't doing that.
Diane. If, it's not gonna go forward.
Okay,
and then-
okay.
But do you, at least if we can say we're gonna put out an RFP for a finance manager, you're still having a chance to get the in-house person in there.
And you guys won't vote for it though.
How do you know I won't vote for it? What did I say? What did I say? I said the best person for the job. The
Yeah.
best person for the
What
job.
if the person is the best person that you pick for the job? It will not go in the office and either.
How have I voted, Diane? God, how have I
Well,
voted?
you originally didn't even want to vote for a finance manager originally.
But I follow what the constituent says, so I go out and I talk to people, don't I?
Yeah,
And I ask what they say, and they say, you know what? All my recommendations have said, Chase, if you go through this. They go, you know, we'd like to see somebody local, but if the best person for the job, they go, it doesn't have to be in-house me. That's what my constituents have said. That's what I went out and talked to people, that's what they said. I said, you know what? I take that into consideration, so I will get the best person for the job. Now, can LSL be that person? It's possible, I don't know, because I haven't seen anything yet. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I haven't seen it for in-house, I haven't seen it for out of house, I haven't seen anything. I want everybody's proposal. And my gut is telling me that an in-house person is probably gonna end up being the best, but I have to see it all first. So, and if we don't do the finance manager thing tonight, if we don't do it, LSL continues.
all right, I'll vote yes. Although if it comes to the point where the three of you decide that whatever you
But
choose
see,
is an in-house,
And here's the thing,
that's.
and here's the other
It's
thing,
over.
if it goes like that, you're not out anything because LSL is already there. So you might as well roll the dice to see if we get a good one, right?
Well, that's my other only alternative, but I will let you know now, though, if we don't get somebody in-house, I'm done. I would probably resign as well as he is, because I realize,
But
oh, I don't know about that. You have no idea what he's been back and forth for months. So-
But
Well, he's exhausted. He's exhausted. He's been fighting for this is what, 2.5, almost 3 years? I mean, it's like battle fatigue with him, having to fight to make this in a transparent district.
and he's different. I'm not gonna go into that. What I'm saying is, if you don't do this, LSL stays. That's just the way, and not that that's not necessarily what I want. But that's just the whole.
All right, okay, I will vote yes, but.
Can we get a second?
I have a second.
But,
Mark has a second.
well, can you tell me what I'm voting on though, are we gonna post it? That's.
An RFP, we're gonna have to get a special meeting together so we can come up with what we're gonna post.
But I already have something.
Well, wait a minute, what we have is to hire a finance manager, I think we can go
For us
forward
for
with that.
proposal.
I think it's also possible that staff can do this, staff has done this before,
Staff will do what?
make a request for proposal. At least a draft for us to look at,
I did it already.
no, you didn't, it's got errors everywhere, it's got stuff that we don't want.
So, but
This came right from San Lorenzo. Are you telling me that this is so illegitimate?
here's the thing though,
And
here's the thing.
San Lorenzo, they were hiring a finance director. I took it right off their post. So
Okay.
you're saying this is full of errors?
Let's do number one. Let's do number one first. Do we wanna do an RFP to hire a finance manager?
Yeah, we'll do that first.
And I think I
Well, I'll
already,
restate
Give me a second.
the motion. I have a motion by President Downing, second by Vice President Bell. Start the process of hiring a finance manager by putting out an RFP.
Now,
Yes.
What's an RFP? Jump
A
over.
request for proposal.
Oh, you mean like resumes?
Yeah, resumes, yeah,
All right.
an independent contractor, they come to you and they say, this is, so. Public comment.
I have a public comment here that came from outside.
Came from outside.
Came via email.
Okay.
It's actually directed to you, you might have seen it. Here's my comment for the board, don't hire an in-house unless someone like Roger Carroll just happens along. Then think long and hard about giving up a resource that is available every workday year round. I was on the board just after Roger Carroll arrived and before Hank was hired. Dave Phillips was an interim board member before me and would be a good source on all the hiring, firing, and resignations prior to 2013. The district had a problem finding and keeping qualified staff. It takes away from time, day-to-day operations for board and minimal staff to identify the job requirements, post, review, and interview for a new hire. Roger was a real find, extremely qualified and a hard worker. He held a full-time job working 10 hours, 4 days a week as treasurer for Loomis. He only worked 1 day, 10 hours for us. Position was usually a part-time position, hence hard to find a qualified person. It's a better business practice for limited staffed operation to outsource certain positions. Finance, bookkeeping is generally outsourced in a lot of businesses. The company you have now has various paid levels of services and you only need to pay for what you need. You don't need to worry about vacations or sick leave because they have staff to cover. Hope you're able to read and present this comment for tonight's meeting. Thank you for serving for the culture.
So, Any other public comment? All right, coming back. Any other board member comment?
No, no more comments.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Bell,
Yes,
Director Foster,
Yes,
President Down,
Yes,
3-0, motion carries.
okay. Now. Before we move on to the next one. I believe we need to set a special meeting. With the board. To do just the finance manager of putting together
is it really that important?
I think it is.
Why?
Why? Because,
How much money are we talking about here? I mean, we losing money? Not a lot, if we're losing money, I mean, that's what I come down to.
well, to put together a job description.
No, why are we in a hurry to hire a finance manager? Why do we have to do this at a special meeting? Why do we have to do this right away?
Because I think a special meeting, I didn't necessarily say it had to be right away, but I think a special meeting dedicated to putting together a job description before we put it out for RFP with consensus from the board. Because that's what I'm trying to build here, even though everybody thinks that I'm trying to, do something else. I don't know. I don't understand that, but our constituency requires us to work together.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And I know, and we have to, I don't think the ad hoc thing is going to work very well because we have too much of a divided board. So of a whole board getting together in a roundtable discussion on a special meeting to put together a job description I think would be beneficial.
A job description or an RFP?
Well,
to post,
yeah, or an RFP, yeah.
to post, but I've looked at a lot of them.
Well, and
this
you've
is-
done, Diane, this is the thing, you've done great.
I know, but I don't, okay, I want the board to, not the staff. Okay,
That's,
but here's something we can start with, though, would you?
yeah, it's a good template, that's what I'm saying, but we need to put together a special meeting to meet on this. And so now we have to come up with a date for a special meeting. To work just solely on this. When are you gonna
Well,
be back?
That's why I am concerned about the speed here.
I didn't say it had to be as soon,
Well, okay, well then, let's look at November.
No.
okay, a little sooner than that.
So I'm gone. From August 25th to October 26th.
Okay, can you be available via,
And I'm more than
Skype.
making arrangements to try and be available for
On
the time
Sunday.
we have our regular board meeting.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation. I'm gonna be moving about every 3 days. So this is a pain. It really is.
so is this something that we can do, is this something we can do via email?
We can certainly give it a try.
Oh, yeah,
But now we gotta remember, if we're doing it via email, we can have Hank can send us all out, kind of the recommendations. And then only the only way we can reply is individually back to each other. We can't reply back to the all.
Yeah, even at each other. If she talks
Like,
to
we
you,
can
you
reply
talk to
back-
me,
yeah,
that's real good.
We can reply back to
Okay.
Hank. And then Hank can send it back out, type of thing. We can't, that's the only way it's gonna work by email.
Not even sure a second time around would work very well there, but at least we could give that as a shot.
Give that as a shot and then that won't be. That won't be an ad hoc necessarily, but that'll get us close.
Can you tell me then, is what the focus just be, is doing a posting, when something like this for posting, is that the focus of what we're talking about for having a meeting?
Yeah, because we have to put out there what we want from a finance
Yeah.
manager through our proposal.
Well, and I don't understand what the objection is to this. To this one, because this one really was well done, and it came from a legitimate posting that they were looking for a finance director.
Well, let Mark have a look at it and he'll,
It's in the.
yeah, and he'll redline it and do what he does and then send it out. to-
Well,
And I'm happy
Hank
to
will
do
send it
that.
out.
I mean, I did that to
Yeah.
what you had, then we started to go down that process, but it looked like we didn't need to. It did say that there were a number of things on there.
Yeah, no, that was
I
good.
agree
That was good.
with what we have and what we've been for in the past.
I wanted to get that out of there.
Yeah.
Well,
And
okay, well,
we can do that over,
Yeah.
yeah.
but how do I know though, that the rest of, how do I spent a lot of time looking at many of these. How do I know, you don't have the time, how do I know that Mark is going to be looking at all of these to make a good judgment of what should be posted?
Well, here's the
Or
thing,
even Julie, even, you don't have a lot of time.
here's the thing. It's gonna come to consensus, so Mark, and here's the thing, good thing about Mark. If you provide something. He'll look it over and he'll tell you what he thinks is good and what's bad and whatnot, and then you can come back to him and go, hey, this is the reason why I did this, is the reason why I did that, and he'll go back to, well, yeah, but I did this for this reason, that reason.
Well, I think that's just going back and forth.
Yeah, but then here's the thing. Then, pretty soon, we'll have something that we've done with all of our policy items, 3021. You guys did great. On 3021.
Is
Remember
that the
that?
reserves?
Yes,
Oh, yeah. Well,
remember how good that went?
yeah,
Okay, same thing. And you guys both do your good research. If I could just get you guys to, go have a beer together or something, we'd be doing pretty good.
I'm telling you that this is pretty much standard. This is,
Good.
I've looked at many, all different companies.
That's great. I
I
agree
guess
that
I'm
you have.
offended that you say, oh, there's all these errors in here.
But-
Well, came off as Sarah Friends with
That's
us.
okay, but that's okay, because he's got voted in on this board too. He's entitled to his opinion, just like you are. That's okay, that's why we're here, okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just,
so-
it's just that one has already been done.
so we're gonna do it over via email? We're gonna try that?
I think, so you have any comments on that, Hank, any advice?
Yeah, let's try it, see what happens.
Let's try it, see what happens.
And so when will it start? When do we have a time frame? I'd like to have a time frame. I don't wanna, say, oh, well, one person is gonna send something 2 months from now. I've already got mine,
Well,
mine's done.
It'll be on, well, how about this? I'll make a motion that we, put the RFP on the, September meeting.
Oh, what does that mean though? Does that mean that we'll already have this done? Is that what you mean?
Well, at least our,
But when do we start the back and forth on the email? That's what I mean, prior to the September meeting.
immediately.
Oh, okay. I just think that needs to be clarified. Yeah, and I also wanted, once again, say, I've already done it. So I don't have anything else to say. I can respond to everybody else, but I've done the work. So I don't have any more to contribute, is what I'm saying. I have nothing more to contribute,
Okay, that's fine.
okay?
Yes,
I just wanna make that announcement. Okay,
okay. All right, so now, I made a motion to put the RFP on,
so.
September's meeting under board member action item.
So are you saying that would be something that we've all come to agree on, that we would?
It'll be close.
Look, okay, all right,
Can I get a second?
I second.
Public comment? Coming back. All in favor? Aye.
I'll go with that too.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, and, board secretary.
I think you said we were gonna discuss it.
We're gonna table that, yeah.
Yeah,
And then. Where are we at? Discussion general managers report. Hank. You just wanna say everything's good, that's great.
Let me hit a couple of things. Safety meeting, on July 10th, workplace violence prevention. I wanted to just hit real quickly, and it's very short, June 2025 accounting services, summary, and this is provided by LSL. Topic 1, bookkeeping, they recorded daily transaction and maintained ledgers. The second one is important, reconcile bank account, investment portfolios and customer credit card payments. So LSL is reviewing all credit card payments. The statements made earlier that they aren't, they are. That's part of what they do. You can read the rest of those. Accounts payable processing, that's another important one. Processed invoices June 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th. That is also our credit card payments. That all gets reviewed in a secondary review by LSL. Payroll processing, financial reporting, and also item 5 is important. They listed the duties that they did in June's correspondence regarding the 24-25 accounting and for the FY 26 budget creation. And so that's where LSL provided that's what they did that month, the correspondence regarding development and budget. So they did that in June. And that's my report.
All right, thanks, Hank. And then, do we need to go into closed session here?
We're gonna do that item,
What's that?
if we're gonna do that item, we
Yeah,
should
we're
be
gonna
in
do
closed
that.
session.
Have we got to the part about you asking us about what we'd like to see on the agenda next month is for,
The future agenda items?
yeah, I have one,
Which one would that be?
2300. It's the,
The policy?
yeah, it's a policy, it's a charge. The charge 2300 of all the structure of the FPUD, the people.
Can I, ask you that we not put it on next month?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm good with
Is
that.
that okay? But can we put it on,
Cause I guess it doesn't make any sense anyway.
future agenda, just put it under future agenda items? So it's in the, but let's just not put it on the next one?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, so 2300?
Yeah, 2300, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll go in for September's future item, and we'll see where we're at with that with our agenda.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense anyway, because we have to go through the finance part first. Okay, cause that's what the topic is for the meeting.
Okay, and then, on this closed session, Hank, before we discuss anything in closed session, do we gotta kick everybody out and then discuss if we're gonna table it or not?
And if you want to table it, I would say table it now.
Table it now. I make a motion that we table, the, public, employee performance evaluation.
And I also
Kick
have,
down the feet, kick down the way, huh?
Well, it's
well, there's,
getting late and we only have 3 of us. And we haven't looked at any of the
well, there's another issue as well.
Hmm.
And I emailed you earlier, but you probably didn't get it, and
today.
yeah, you can
Okay.
have this. Okay, so what this is I asked Hank if I could see what the original, the one before they changed the evaluation policy. Because the one I'm looking at that was revised by the board last year is not really something that I could fill in, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know. And so I asked Hank, can I see the old one? So that's the old one, the one that they didn't, that was changed. This was the one before they changed it. This one is more applicable to, for us to fill in. I would like to go back to this one. I would like to have.
Well, so hold on, so
Mhm.
before we discuss any more on this, I got a motion out there. Do we wanna table this?
So in the discussion part of that, I don't know how hard it is that we do this, you know, it's certainly taken us months before to get one done. And so maybe it doesn't make a big difference when we start. So kicking it down the path, not that bad. But sometime or another, we gotta start.
Yeah, so is that something that we can get started in? Do we have to have a closed session?
We've had a closed session every other time, because the kinds of things that she's showing there are things that would be done in a closed session.
But I
And
don't,
that's not a big deal. We have 3 people that go, well, 2 that probably go and leave, and 1 that sticks around because they have some good commitment here.
there's no point in having a evaluation if we don't, well, I'm asking.
So let's do this, so we can get this.
Provide some perspective. The topic is evaluation. That doesn't mean we do the evaluation now. It means that we start the
Yeah.
evaluation.
Oh, okay.
And starting the evaluation is what you were just talking about.
When we do that though, when will that be?
So,
To look at changing this?
still what we have done in the past. I think this is all okay in open session. What we've done in the past is, we meet, we say, well, let's look at the forms. What have we done in the past? What do we wanna do? Do we wanna change the form? I think it took us 4 months to agree on
The form.
the form. And that is not the new form. That is a revised form.
No,
because there was a form before that.
what, this one here?
Yes,
This is the one Hank gave me.
I know that that's probably the
This is
latest
the
one he
one,
has.
the one
Twenty
that was
twenty-two.
before the one you just revised last year.
Yes, it was that.
Yes, and I
But
like
I
it.
don't, but it's like when you say it's not revised. Who knows what they do?
Well, and then here's the other thing too,
But
that we're not getting at here. With this form, something like this, if we wanna change this form, that's something that should probably be in the agenda packet
Yeah.
under that item, right? Or can we even have that? It would be, ooh, how would we do that? Cause that would be closed session.
close session, public employee performance evaluation and employment.
Yeah, but how did they do it? What Jason's saying is, how was it done when you sat there and decided to change it last year? So how did it, was it an open session or closed
Closed
session?
session.
But
Why
then,
does
then
it
who
need to
brings
be?
who brings it to the, cause you know how we're doing our policies, we always bring something, we cross it out, do the whole thing, and present it here, this is what we had, this is what I recommend, this is what it should look like, right? But we can't do that in the agenda packet,
No, you wouldn't do it in the public agenda packet. It would be
Yeah.
Separately.
it's come out separately in a closed session packet.
Yeah, you get something else for closed session.
No.
If we had a discussion with a lawyer, it might be something that actually comes into the meeting, although that's a little harder to do with something like this.
Yeah,
You know, but looking at. Looking at the last one, looking at the one before, looking at any ones before that, it all makes sense. For what we want to, what we might want to do.
mhm.
Um,
Well, and that's something we should have in a closed session packet now that we've brought it, so that's something that, so. With that said. I think my suggestion would still be to table it,
yeah, I'm fine with that.
yeah.
Okay, and then what do we do with this? Why bring it up? As an item? Or-
So you know how we do our policy changes?
Yeah, to email you and Hank.
And with what you're suggesting, or what we're currently using, what we're
Okay,
suggesting to use.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that way we can have it in a closed session agenda packet.
okay.
Okay, with that said,
So, before you do that, there's a motion on the
Oh,
floor
to-
to
yes.
table, died for lack of a second. Consensus was to
table it.
table it.
I second that.
Okay, so
So we can do a second and vote and public comment? No, okay, coming back, go for it,
Yes,
yes. Diane.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes.
All right, and.
Yeah.
And we're.
so it just occurred to me.